Alrighty, welcome guys to the 22nd episode of Coaster Time, hosted by me, Carrick from Coaster Hour, and this is also the 1 year special. Tomorrow will be the 1 year anniversary of Coaster Time, so I'm very proud of that. And with that being said, if you are new to these live streams, basically what we do is trivia, news, Q&A, and a lot more where you, the viewers, can participate in a lot of segments. And join with me today are two of some of my first guests I ever had on Coaster Time, Jace from 808CoasterLife and Chris from Airtime Thrills. Awesome to have you guys both back. And with that being said, if you both could introduce yourselves, tell people where to find you, that would be absolutely fantastic.
All right,
Chris,
go ahead,
do you wanna
Jace.
go
You go
first?
first. It's all you,
Okay,
man.
thank you. For those of you who don't know, my name is Jace. I own and operate the YouTube channel 808 Coaster Life. I am currently figuring out an upload schedule, but I do usually upload once every 2 weeks. And I also have an Instagram if you want to check that out. And yeah, that's about it. And also, if my voice does sound a little bit different, I was yelling a lot yesterday. It's this senior event at my school, so hopefully that's not too much of an issue.
Nice. Chris?
So I'm Chris. I do the Airtime Thrills stuff on YouTube and Instagram. I'm not on any other platform because I don't have that much interesting stuff to say. So that's pretty much it. So I upload on Instagram every day. I upload on YouTube twice a week. And yeah, check it out.
Absolutely. And also, I want to give a quick shout out, real quick, to the Airtime Thrills Discord. They also did the announcement for me, so for the stream. So if you haven't gone on that server yet, absolutely make sure to. I'm also a reporter on it. It's a great server. Would highly recommend. I have the links to the Discord and to 808 Coaster Life and Airtime Thrills link in the all the links are in the description. So make sure to check those out if you haven't already. So with that being said, if you guys can tell us if the audio is good, that would be absolutely fantastic, and then we'll roll right into the news and get started right away. So I'll just wait in on a confirmation. Alrighty, so let's see. Haven't seen anything yet, but we'll be all right. We're good. All right, that's great. So I'm gonna get the news ready, and and we'll start right there. And I'm actually changing up a little bit of how the format of the news. It's basically like the same format. It's just different order. So I'll explain that real quick. So I'm gonna go through like incidents and accidents first from now on, and move on to the other stuff. So that way we kind of end on a better note. So especially with like this week, because there was quite a bit in terms of accidents. And we start that off with what happened at Lagoon. A 32-year-old man has passed away after falling off of Lagoon Skyride. And I just want to say this was very tragic to hear about. I can't even imagine what the family's going through because something like this is just crazy. But what I will say about this is that judging from the videos and photos, while it's not confirmed, the way he was positioned from hanging out, he may have it seems like he probably put himself in the position to hang off of the sky ride. So, and there was nothing found wrong with the ride. So it doesn't appear that this was Lagoon's fault. I have no idea what the person's intentions were, but regardless, a very tragic incident, well, accident for sure.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on exactly. If he fell out the bottom, you think that he would be hanging on to the top rail. That's kind of what I thought when I saw that picture. I don't want to judge too much, just in case, for all we know, he may have had, a mental situation.
Yeah.
Or he could have just been being stupid or trying to go viral or something. But yeah, pretty sad either way.
Definitely.
Yeah, like I said, this was very, very tragic and shocking for sure to hear about. The next bit of news is about a park in Italy called Miragica. I may have totally butchered that, but basically this is the park that has the intimate accelerator Senza Fiato. That's what they're most well known for. They had a fire that may have damaged the park significantly. The specifics on the damage haven't been too clear, but it is said that it did do some level of damage, and it's I think assumed to be pretty significant. This park has been closed since 2019 due to bankruptcy, so I don't think we're gonna be seeing it open like probably ever, or at the very least anytime soon. Especially now with this fire, and I don't think the rides are gonna be saved either because the rides were deemed, I think, kind of like unsalvageable. I think even before this fire, because some people went in and checked the rides out, but it doesn't look like they're gonna be saved either.
I was wondering what park in Iowa was going to take their Intamin, but now I guess that's not going to happen.
Yeah, probably not. Like I said, very unfortunate. Another incident that happened, this is just weird. No one was hurt here, but an animatronic of the stacked Goombas fell down on the path of Yoshi's Adventure at Super Nintendo World. It was fixed relatively quickly. Just a weird incident. Like I said, no one was hurt. But it was kind of funny seeing the staff. There were some pictures kind of carrying it off, and because they're stacked, it kind of created some funny pictures. But
aren't the Goombas the one that attack you in the game?
they're the little brown mushroom looking things.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just step on them.
Yeah. So they should be attacking guests. That should be a feature, not a defect.
Yeah, I guess it does add a level of immersion. So that's nice.
Stops the immersion.
Yes. So I guess that's good. But that was something that happened. Runaway timber train at Landmark Forest Park in Scotland partially derailed, giving 2 children some minor injuries. This happened on Thursday, August 12th. Obviously pretty scary because it's a derailment, but fortunately nothing too significant happened. But
it's
just
happened
another
right by
one of
the
those
ground.
crazy
This
things.
is on a very low part of the ride. So yeah, that's probably for the best.
Yeah. Like I said, it probably just a terrifying situation for anyone riding for sure. In other news, a woman got injured after being hit by a falling piece of wood on Twister at Gronolund. She's fine, but she did get a pretty she got a pretty bad black eye from what I saw. But she recollected that she originally thought that she got hit by a phone, and then she got hit by instead it was a piece of wood. So another thing that is just crazy, not something you would expect to hear about
I
at
think
all.
this happens more often than you think.
Probably.
It'll happen on Ghost Rider for sure.
Oh wow.
And I bet you stuff falls off
Interesting.
a lot, and it just doesn't hit anybody. So when it does, you hear about it.
Yeah, just I guess an unfortunate timing and everything. So that's crazy. This piece of news, I think almost everyone has heard about this up to this point, but I'll mention it. A woman was hospitalized after being hit by a falling metal object from Top Thrill Dragster at Cedar Point. I believe it was confirmed that it was a part of the coaster. I don't know if it was part of the train or the structure, but it was a part of the coaster. It wasn't a loose article. Dragster will be closed for the rest of 2021 as a result. And as for the woman, there hasn't been too many updates on her condition, but I think I've heard she's improving, but I am not sure. Obviously, another very scary situation regardless.
I heard they were shoving magnets around the infield of Dragster, which makes me think that that was probably one of several things that flew out, and that one just happened to hit her. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what that actually was, if it came from the train or what.
Even here in Hawaii, this popped up on my news along with the lagoon accident.
Yeah, those two were everywhere. So it was.
There was I was at Mount Olympus, and one of the trains, I forgot which ride it was. One of the trains had something loose in there. Like you could hear it, it's kind of going around inside the train. So there was some loose parts in there. So I wonder how often that happens.
Yeah, I mean just it's still this year has been crazy, but some of these things I don't really know what to say at this point for this. This is another just weird bit. A tire popped off of Wild Wheels at Six Flags New England. No one was hurt here, but I don't understand how this even happens, but it happened. Pictures on Reddit prove it. Yeah, just another weird thing that happened. And then Dododonpa at Fuji-Q Highland. This is, I think, still relatively unknown at this point. It is closed temporarily and will be undergoing a safety overhaul due to 4 injuries occurring between December 18th of 2020 and August 12th of this year, which is the day they decided to close the ride. It is not
spinal injuries too. It was
spinal and cervical.
It makes me wonder why now. Why is this just happening now? Is it running differently ever since it reopened from being shut down, or what?
Yeah, I was confused with that for sure. And I mean, like, I know, I was like, how could this be like something that just happened now? So that is a little interesting for sure. I also wanted to say it hasn't been confirmed that the ride will be closed this season. I've heard some people say that. If you read the official release, they never state that, but that could very well play out. So we'll see what happens with Dododonpa in the future. Next thing we have, flashback at the Great Escape Valley, specifically between the vertical loop and the Cobra roll. Not sure exactly what would happen, what would cause it to valley at that part, because it feels like it would be like it goes through those elements with a decent amount of speed. So that was pretty unusual.
Maybe the trim brakes at the bottom of the vertical loop and before the second spike, maybe. It could be like running a little too hard, or like, yeah.
I think when the one at St. Louis valleyed, it valleyed there. I think that's because the wheel fell off or something. So I don't know, maybe something like that happened.
Yeah, Boomerang's valleying, it's happened before, but still, hard for me to wrap my head around it when it happens.
This wasn't even running when I went to Great Escape for staffing reasons, so I guess they decided to reopen it on the weekend or something, but yeah, oh well.
Yeah, they took the train off yesterday, I believe. I don't know if it valleyed yesterday, but they took the train off, so yeah. Now, outside of incidents, we're going into ride reopenings, and the Adventure Cove River Rapids at Drayton Manor reopened. This was a raft ride that had been closed since 2017 due to a fatal accident under previous ownership of the park. So now it's reopened with a new retheme.
It's interesting how often the River Rapids rides have incidents.
Yeah, for sure. Especially this year too. We had one.
Adventureland. Was it Adventureland?
Yes.
I think, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. And then Stunt Pilot has reopened on August 13th following technical difficulties. I mentioned in the last stream that it was said that a wheel fell off, but not confirmed. That still has not been confirmed officially, so I'm not entirely sure if that was the reason. Regardless, it was closed for some sort of reason, but it has reopened, so that's good.
Be interesting to figure out what happened. I don't know how much of this stuff is just people just talking junk, like, oh, hey, wheel fell off, haha, funny, or they actually know what happened.
Yeah, there was a picture going around, but I mean, it just kind of looked like a little wheel in the dirt, so I wasn't entirely convinced by looking at that. But who knows?
But if it's been closed for days, that's
it was closed for days.
Yeah, something happened.
Yeah, no, something happened because the social media had to address it.
Yeah.
Something did happen. We just don't know exactly what it was. Wicked Twister at Cedar Point is closing for good on September 6th. I actually did a reaction live stream right after I did my last Coaster Time stream, so I was pretty surprised that was the announcement they were doing. Not surprised that it's going. I feel like that's kind of been expected for a while, but it'll be interesting to see where this gets relocated, if it does, because it is closing pretty early in the season. Though it doesn't sound like any other Cedar Fair parks besides one I'll talk about in a little bit will be getting any new rides, so that kind of makes things confusing.
Yeah, I mean, California's Great America looked like they were kind of in line to get this at one point. I don't know if that's still the case. I said Worlds of Fun would benefit this from of the most. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe they can put like a Gale Force coaster here. That'd be pretty cool.
That would be. The capacity would not be great.
No, yeah, that's true.
But I'd love to see it for sure. Honestly, if Gilroy, my dream would be if Gilroy Gardens somehow got this. I don't know why. I think it'd be hilarious. Yeah. In terms of new rides, Mount Olympus has announced Medusa Slide Wheel, America's first slide wheel water slide, which will open next year. Normally, I don't cover water slides, but this was, I felt, pretty significant. So, cool looking slide they're getting.
I saw those in China. Those are weird, and with Mount Olympus's sketchiness, I'm sure that this will be fun.
Yeah, that now that you put it into perspective, it is kind of funny that Mount Olympus is the one getting it. Man, so that'll be interesting for sure. Cool ride edition nonetheless. King's Dominion has announced Toombly, an SNS 40 free spin for 2022. I mean, I think it's not like the greatest coaster like ever, obviously. But
I know, I hear you.
I mean, on one hand, yeah, okay. I don't think I'm gonna talk about it too much, but I mean, it's there. I guess
the original free spins have like a bunch of different hills at the beginning. This one has one.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
the Dragon Slayer layout.
Yeah,
more compact.
It's replacing a flat ride. I mean, what else do you want? And this is not going to be their big addition, so I think it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, for replacing the crypt, I think this is perfectly fine. It, like, serves the purpose, which I was trying to say, but there's still a part of me that is, like, hoping... I think we will get more in the future. It's just a question of when, I guess. Next bit of news, Golden Horse has announced a new family spinning coaster model that is very similar to SBF Visa's existing spinners, and that's being generous, saying it's similar. This is like almost a new low. I mean, really? It's like the figure eight layout and everything.
This is worse than Intamin's big thing like last year when they were like, "Hey, look at all our new rides." It's like, wow, you ripped off Intamin, you ripped off Premiere, you ripped off Mach.
RMC.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was hard for me to look at seriously.
that one looks cool. This one's got like a double figure eight.
Yeah, I mean, this layout looks, at least it's something.
It's like top 50 worthy right there. No,
this is not. But at least they tried with this one, I guess. We'll see how many of these get built. I don't know how many SBF visas there are in China, so if there's not a lot, this will probably get built all over the place. So
definitely.
Yeah. Speed Zone Los Angeles will be receiving several former Fantasy Island rides. This is a go-kart place, including the legendary Max's Doggy Dog coaster and Crazy Mouse, which is a Zamperla twister coaster. Pretty unexpected news, to be honest. Did not expect that these rides were gonna, like, I mean, I guess I wasn't sure if they were gonna get saved or not, but I didn't expect it to come to California, I guess I'll just say.
Yeah, I mean, I went to Fantasy Island. I rode the mouse, but I did not ride Max's Doggy Dog coaster, or whatever it's called. But I'm glad I didn't miss out on the opportunity, because I'm sure I'll end up there at some point.
Yes, anyone who watched Canada Coaster Fan, he mentioned Max's Doggy Dog coaster a few times. So yeah. Next bit of news, Fun Spot Atlanta has revealed new concept art of their RMC iBox coaster coming next year, showing an outer banked airtime hill, or not outer banked, a banked airtime hill along with a turnaround and either a 0G or a hardline roll, I guess, depending on how you look at it. But this coaster keeps looking better and better the more we see of it.
I think this thing's probably only going to be like 50 feet tall or so. So if they can make the elements nice and proportional to the ground, seems like it'd be a good ride. that's probably gonna be really short and very short in length and short in height, but it should still be pretty good. So you have really short trains too.
Yeah, it, like had a what is it like 5 car or something? I think that might be inaccurate, and also the coloring's wrong because one's supposed to be blue and the other's supposed to be red. I don't know what's up with that, but um, uh, did he say it was only going to be 50 feet tall?
That's my guess. I don't know. I don't think it's been announced or anything, but it just seems to me like this thing.
If you look at the concept art, it's going to be a lot taller than that.
You think so? Okay. It just
Yeah,
like,
it has like a Goliath like structure. Like they've
Really?
shown like images.
Okay, maybe I haven't seen that then.
Look, you can look into it, but no, yeah, this is actually going to be like
Everything I've seen makes it like implied, like makes like this picture makes it look like it's almost like a family style coaster, obviously with outer banks and barrel rolls. So
yeah,
I don't know. I gotta
But-
get back down to Atlanta when this thing opens. That's for sure.
for sure. Oh wait, Jason, do you have anything to say on this or?
I think that turn looks like it's gonna fly through that turn, based on the previous concept art. So, yeah, it's looking very
hopefully.
exciting.
For sure. Next bit of news, Alaska is receiving their first ever recorded permanent coaster. It'll only operate at certain times of year because it's part of the fairgrounds, but they're finally getting a permanent coaster. But it is an inner park super cyclone, so I mean it is what it is, but at least they're getting something.
Hawaii, you're next.
I immediately thought of you when I heard of this news. I'm like, oh boy.
For a first permanent coaster, a Zyklon's not terrible. It could be a wacky worm.
That's true.
It could be a wacky worm.
Next bit of news. I won't go too far into this. I'll just say if you want to learn more about this, just read into it because there's a lot of stuff here. But Disney has announced their new Lightning Lane, Genie, and Genie Plus service. Genie will serve as like a itinerary thing and will be free. Genie Plus will serve at, I think you can do ride reservations with it, and it'll be kind of like the Max Pass system that was at Disneyland, if anyone's ever done that. And then Lightning Lane will be like basically front of the line pass, but you can only do it for up to 2 attractions a day. So that's it. It's we'll see how exactly it works whenever it gets implemented, but it is an interesting system for sure.
I don't know. I like the old system, but it seems like this is a big cash grab. The Max Pass was like $15 a ticket, and you can pretty much just do it on your phone, which is also really convenient. So you don't have to run around the park all day. I thought that was fine too. But yeah, this looks like they're starting it off at like what, $20 a ticket or so.
I don't remember the cost. Like I said, I didn't look into this super hard.
Yeah, so I mean, you have 4 people, you're gonna pay an extra $80 on top of what you're already paying to use it, and it's something that used to be free. So I don't know. It's yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see. In other news, Phantom Wild Tongshan is receiving a Vekoma Hyper Space Warp scheduled to open in 2023. This will be the 4th of its model. It's going to China. So another one of these coasters going to China. It's basically Formula, but with a lift hill. So not really too much else to say here for that. But in other news, we have Zamperla. They've announced their new Twister Freeform layout, which is a new, I guess, layout from their previous, like, more Wild Mouse type Twister coaster layouts. This at least has definitely more than a few differences, and it's a lot different than your traditional Wild Mouse layout, which is cool. So nice to see him do this for sure.
Yeah, I wonder if Zamperla is ever going to come out with like a really good model. It seems like when I went to Luna Park, I was like, okay, this is the showcase of all their best stuff, and it's like, this is their best stuff. This is all they have.
Reminds me of a Gerstlauer bobsled coaster.
Gerstlauer bobsled coaster, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm familiar with the Gerstlauer bobsled coaster.
I think like their
They're
first
mostly
ever
in Europe.
coaster. They're mostly in Europe. Their first ever coaster is a bobsled, and it's at Tripstrill.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
they
won't
look
say
pretty
the name
interesting.
because it's hard to pronounce.
I don't even remember it. But yeah, so that's the New Zealand Parallel Twister coaster. We have Space Factory at Yomiuri It has begun testing. This is Gerstlauer's first ever inverted coaster. Will be heavily themed and more family oriented, just by the looks of it. But it did finally test, and the link is in the description, as it is with all the news. If you want to see the actual footage, because it wasn't official, so I couldn't show it on here. But yeah, we'll have to see what this ride will bring.
I did do a double take on that picture. It looks like the track just ends, but I guess it turns.
Yeah, it turns in. Yeah, it like goes indoors. But yeah, no, from the picture, yeah, it just looks like it ends. That is funny.
RCT style.
Yes.
Death Park, yeah.
Our last bit of news is that PNE Playland has closed Coaster for the season to give it a massive refurbishment that'll cost around between $389,000 and $585,000. Reason I had to be specific is because it was originally in Canadian, and that's what it translated to. So
Hopefully they don't put new trains on there, because those
I'm
trains
kind
are
of
great.
scared for this refurbishment.
Yeah, me too. Whatever you do, don't change the trains.
I'm like actually terrified, because I hope that they actually I hope that I mean I don't know exactly what they're gonna do with it. We'll see, but I am a little terrified of if they were to change the trains or something. So.
I'm honestly that coaster's been around for over 60 years. I am legitimately surprised that no one's died on that thing, as far as I know. Do you think that one moron in the last 60 years would have jumped out of that thing? But yeah, I guess they haven't.
But yeah, we'll see exactly what this thing entails in the future. But like I said, I'm actually concerned about this. I guess there was just one last thing I wanted to announce. I have a few channel announcements. Actually, really just one. In the description, I have a new Coaster Time poll. So if you want to do this after the stream, or if you're watching after it's ended, on replay, I have that in the description that'll be used to determine new guests. And there's a few other optional questions in there as well. So I just wanted to mention that. And I'm probably going to Disneyland next week, so that'll be cool. Taking a friend there for the first time, hopefully, so that should be a lot of fun. But that wraps up the news. And with that being said, we'll head into our next thing, which will be our first Q&A session, first of 3, and then we'll do a quiz along with it, which will be 10 questions, because there's going to be another one toward the end. But I wanted to shorten them so that way it wouldn't go way past time. So any questions you have, you can ask them now, and that'll lead us into the quiz. Link to the quiz is pinned. It is pinned as well. So and in the description, I believe. So make sure to get on there, and we'll take any questions right now. So let's see.
Really hope the accidents slow down, because I think more than anything, it's just adding to the stigma or the stereotype that roller coasters are dangerous or deadly, and that's not good. So I really hope these accidents slow down.
Hopefully it has something to do with the maintenance and the shortage of staff and everything, and they fixed that up, because the stuff didn't used to happen that often, and now it's happening all the time. So I don't know. It's got to be related to that somehow.
Yeah, I think it's for sure related to that. There's no chance. So, but yeah, I do agree with you, Jace. I do hope that this stuff, all the accidents and everything, slows down, because that does add to the negative viewpoint for sure. All right, some questions have come in. I'm gonna get to them right now, and then if you guys have a question that specifically you see and point out, because there's a lot of people on here, so I don't think we're gonna get through all of them at first. But if you have a specific one you want answered, then let me know. Let's see. Is the first question okay? This is, I guess, for you, Chris. Is Jersey Devil Coaster the worst RMC?
Yep, absolutely. Not even close, from my experience at least. And then people say oh, you should have ridden it at night, or you should have ridden it after it warmed up. It's if the ride has to warm up to be good, like even good, not even like, oh, it's better. It's like, no, if it has to warm up to be good, then it's not that good of a ride.
Yeah.
I've never ridden an RMC.
Oof. So let's see. Next question. This is also for you, Chris. What was the highlight of your trip this year?
Oh man. So I'm guessing you're talking about the long trip. The short trip, I think the highlight was obviously Velocicoaster. With the longer trip, that took like 2.5 weeks. I would say probably the day where I rode like 15 new coasters on the Jersey boardwalks.
Oh, nice.
That was just a long, chaotic day. I also rode Jersey Devil that day and ended the night with Gale Force. So just picking up all those new credits with all those different parks was just insane. And that was probably the best day of the trip.
Dang. Is that like the most new credits you've gotten in one day, or?
I think it's like tied for it. Yeah. I mean, I think when I went to Canada's Wonderland, I picked up like 15 or 16 in that one day. And also when I went to like Luna Park and like Dino's Wonder Wheel, I think I ended up like 15 that day too. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
I think 16 is my record. I did that at Cedar Point. So.
Yeah. If you go there, yeah. When I went to Cedar Point the first time, they didn't have as many coasters, so they probably had like 12 or 13. So yeah, I think Canada's Wonderland definitely had a ton. I was just picking up credits like all day.
Yeah, dang. That's crazy though. Like just how much it's grown even since like when you first went. So
yeah, exactly.
Any park plans for the rest of this year? I'll try to be quick on this. Basically, I guess, yeah, Disneyland, that should be happening next week. Scary Farm, if that happens, I'll probably be there. And potentially I'll probably go to Magic Mountain at some point as well. So that's all I have for the rest of this year.
For me, nothing planned, honestly. I still have Silver Dollar City Pass good through the end of the year, and I'll probably go there once more. Other than that, maybe over Texas, but we'll see. Frontier City, I just went to. I probably won't go back there again for a while. So, yeah,
over Texas with Prairie Screamer, that would be something. Yeah,
I need to get back there for that. I rode the Scandia Screamer once, and it was awesome. And then it's too bad that it's gone, but now it's actually close to my house. So,
yeah.
There you go.
Jace?
I have nothing else planned for this year. My local fair got canceled, so basically I'm just done for the year, unfortunately.
Yeah. For those who don't know, he's from Hawaii, so it's hard for them to get to us.
Yeah, and Hawaii is like crazy lockdown. So
sort of, yeah. It's pretty relaxed now, but now that the cases are up, there are like rumors circling around that we are going into like a lockdown.
Yeah,
like
I just had a friend come back from Hawaii, and he said it was pretty. I mean, he's from California, which is also pretty strict. But Hawaii he said it was even crazy for him. So I don't know. Maybe they're harsher on tourists than they are locals.
Maybe
that I guess that makes sense. What are some wooden coasters that we do not want to get RMC'd? I guess we'll just each pick one. Let's see. Like, I guess that I've ridden. I
already know mine.
I mean, I guess. You know what? Either of you two can go first with this.
Right, go ahead.
Yeah.
I have two coasters: Ghost Rider, obviously, and Comet at Hershey Park. Yeah, they should just stay the way they are.
I agree on Ghost Rider. That one was actually in danger of being RMC'd when they decided to give it the GCI treatment. I'm very happy they did that because that's such a great layout. I would say that's only like really great coaster that I think that like was in danger at one point. I think maybe El Toro, now that it's had this issue with the derailment and maybe possibly retracking, that I wouldn't want that to be RMC'd either. I think it's great the way it is. So hopefully when they fix it, they just fix it as it was. It might even smooth it out a little bit because it was getting a little rough.
Dang. Yeah. I guess mine would have to be like the same one as you, Jace, because like, I guess Gold Striker, but like what like that, I don't think that would ever happen.
Probably not.
I know it's gotten rougher, but I still think no way. So I guess that'd be my.
Can you imagine if they RMC Gold Striker but they leave Grizzly alone?
Oh my god. Oh, that would be
5
painful.
CPA.
And your pick, Chris, was El Toro, or
I say El Toro. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of like realistic coasters that might be in danger of that at some point. And with El Toro's problems, I wonder if Six Flags is even considering it. I doubt it. But yeah, of like all the great coasters that I can think of that could be RMC'd, like that's the only one I can think of right now.
yeah, and that one would be that would be that a lot of people would definitely not be happy about that for sure. What is my number one and my home park? Home park is Magic Mountain, but it's 2.5 hours away from me because of me being in the middle of California. And my number one coaster is Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point, so that answers that.
I agree with you there, man. I mean, Steel Vengeance gets a lot of heat these days because I think people try to knock it down a little bit because it's so like high on that pedestal. But if you look at it like objectively, it's the best coaster. And my home park now currently is Frontier City, but it's like 80 miles from here, so it's not exactly like a park I can just like up and go to whenever I want. Not only is it like over an hour and 20 minutes away, it's also like toll roads getting there, so I have to pay an extra like $12 in addition to getting down there. So I've only been there once this year. If I'm gonna go somewhere, I'd probably either travel somewhere or go over to Silver Dollar City, which is about 3.5 hours away.
I have no home park, obviously, since I live in Hawaii, and I'm actually still trying to decide my number one coaster out of 4 contenders. So should be interesting which one actually comes out on top.
Jace, your home park should be like Fuji Q Highland or something. It can't be
Either that
I
or
mean,
some California park.
Is it pretty easy to fly to Japan from Hawaii?
It's about besides the sort of like new country or like different country and language barrier stuff, it's about as easy to travel to Japan as it is California. So
Okay, that's cool.
Alrighty, yeah, that would be cool if you were able to get out there at some point.
I really
Yeah,
hope
that'd
so,
be
but
awesome. Yeah.
it's kind of unlikely though.
I'll say a reminder once again for anyone who has just come in. We're gonna be doing a quiz after this Q&A. I have a link pinned, or at least I think it should be along with the code. So that would be how you would enter that on myquiz.org. So I'll say that, and then we'll move on to the next question. How long have we been coaster enthusiasts? Chris, you can go first with this.
I started getting into coasters in 2000. That was like when I first started getting into like coaster forums and stuff. So I was an enthusiast from like 2002 to 2000 to 2003, and then I kind of stopped paying attention until about 2015. Kind of slowly started getting back into it. So since I came back, about 6 years or so.
Nice.
I have been a coaster enthusiast for 4 years, so since summer 2017, and yeah, I guess it's about that.
Dang, that's actually. I mean, I guess I think you've told me, but still, like when you say that, it feels like you've been around for longer. So that
know,
always
it's
surprises me.
kinda
I've been an enthusiast for since 2013, basically. So 8 years, I guess, at this point. Even though I've only had the channel for like less than 3. So yeah. Let's see. Do we want Judge Roy Scream to be RMC'd? I mean, I don't.
Judge Roy isn't that great of a coaster, but it's the only wooden coaster they've got, and it's still kind of fun to ride. And they have Texas Giant over there, so they could probably get away with it because it would have inversions and stuff, and Texas Giant doesn't. It may make it more extreme, but I don't know. It still seems like it's kind of popular and it's kind of an icon. So
I'd say no.
I say no, yeah.
Yeah, it's the only wooden coaster there, and yeah, it is pretty iconic for the park. So I would agree with that. Let's see. Favorite Disney coaster. Jace, I guess you can go first for this one.
Yeah, so mine is Incredicoaster at Disney California Adventure. Really long ride. That's what I like most about it. And also, while the layout's not too extreme, it's still very fun and great scenery too.
Yeah, it's a fun ride for sure.
I'd agree with
Chris?
that. Yeah, I haven't been on like Expedition Everest or anything, or like Toronto or any of the cool ones overseas, but just based on the ones I've been on, Incredicoaster is probably the best one, and Space Mountain's pretty close behind it.
For
Yeah,
me,
that's
I've
my number 2. Go ahead.
all right. What was I gonna? Yeah, so for me, I actually do actually prefer Space Mountain Credit Coaster by quite a bit actually. And that is my favorite Disney coaster. The one at Disneyland specifically. I haven't been to Disney World, so I can't speak on those. But yeah, that would be my favorite one for sure. It's in my top 25, so I like it quite a bit. So yeah.
It's like
Um,
super surprising. Like it just like every time you ride it, you expect it to be like just like a family coaster, but it's actually pretty intense.
Yeah, and it's long too. I don't know how they made it feel so
yeah,
long. It
it
just
yeah, it's like
lasts
yeah, it's
forever.
crazy.
Doesn't even go that
It
fast either.
No, it's like 35 miles an hour.
it feels so fast though when you're in there.
Hmm.
Like I like the front row best, just because you have the wind in your face and everything. I know some people like the back, so but front rows where I'm so excited to do that again. I love that ride for sure. Is Steel Vengeance Outer Banks still your favorite airtime moment, or is anything else, or has something else passed it up yet? I believe this is for you, Chris.
Yeah, no, nothing's passed it up yet. There's so many great ones out there, but just the combination of the lateral ejector and then the way it's sustained all the way till you get to the ground. There's other elements like that, but this is the one that's on the biggest scale, so it does it for the longest, and I haven't found one that's better than it yet.
Pantheon.
Yeah, could be. Well, no one's ever gonna find out, I guess.
Pantheon, hold my beer.
Yeah, not honestly, I'm not as big of a fan of that element as most. I think Steel Vengeance wasn't running as well as it did for when I went, as it has for some other people. But it is still my number one because it's still an amazing coaster. But
Two airtime moments that really shocked me this year were the non-inverting loop on Rip Ride Rocket.
oh, nice.
That was just ridiculously insane. And then the zero G roll on Skyrocket at Kennywood was another one
Oh
that just
yeah,
blew my mind.
I saw your
How
video on that. I'm like, wow, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, and I consider those airtime moments because it's not like it's not hang time, especially the zero G roll. Like you're out of your seat the entire time while you're whipping around 360. Like it's just nuts, but not quite as good as the Outer Bank, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like when you describe, it, I'm like, whoa, that sounds amazing for Skyrocket Zero G roll. I'm like, I gotta experience that when I go to. Hopefully, it'll be open when I go to Kennywood,
Mhm.
whenever that is. I don't know if it has that much downtime. Obviously, it was down for a long time, like for over a year, but I don't know how it is on a consistent basis. Probably will answer like a few more questions before I move on to the quiz. Like probably three more. Favorite themed coaster. Oh, I know. Well, Chris, I know what yours is.
Oh, you what, a Velocicoaster?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess it'd have to be that. It's not like the theming in the queue is nice. The ride itself, it's okay, but just if you want to combine like a theme coaster with an actual ride experience, I'd say Velocicoaster.
If you don't count Candemonium as theming, then I guess it would it would probably be Incredicoaster as well.
Space Mountain would be mine there as well. Um, Favorite family. I feel like I guess you guys might have different ones than I do, but mine's gonna be Space Mountain once again for favorite family coaster.
On my video where I actually ranked the family coasters, I put Space Mountain number one. I stand by it.
Space Mountain's also Incredicoaster's more family thrill, so Space Mountain would be my favorite family coaster.
I see a comment. Hagrid's. For that video, I was trying to keep it under 48 inches because I don't know, just when you have a kid and these things really do stand out to you, these height limits. Like you'd be like, oh, that'd be a great coaster to ride with your daughter or your son. And you're like, oh, wait, it's 48 inches. So like Hagrid's is 48 inches. So that's one where it's like, okay, at that point, they can ride anything. But when they're little and they're ready to get some like their thrill on, it's good to have something that's like 46 or 42 or under. So that's why Space Mountain's 40 inches. So almost anyone can enjoy that.
It makes me laugh every time when I realize that at Magic Mountain Gold Rusher, that's 48-inch height
Yeah.
requirement. Yeah.
Yeah.
And X2 is also
X2.
48 inches. That's
So I told
just
Sophie, like, all
crazy.
these coasters are unlocked for you now that you're 48 inches. Gold Rusher, Twisted Colossus,
X2.
X2, all at the same time.
That's
I guess
crazy.
height limit logic.
Yeah.
Let's see. Last question. If there's any specific one you guys have seen up to this point, let me know. Because I think I'm gonna do one last one until we head into the quiz. There will still be 2 Q&A sessions after this, but this will be the last question for now. Let's see. I saw one that let's see. Now I did the thing where it scrolled down automatically, so I'm now lost. Let's see. Ooh. I guess favorite coaster elements. Jace.
Can I go later?
Yeah, all right, yeah. Chris.
I love a pure camelback. Just like on Twisted Colossus, the blue camelback is my favorite element just because it's so just like, here you go. You're going straight up. You're going to be there for a while. You're coming straight down. So I really like those. But if I had to, I think that if I'm being honest, the Outer Banks are just so insanely good because they toss you out of your seat sideways before you go down. And that's why Steel Vengeance is my favorite. But, Wicked Cyclone has one. Twisted Colossus has one. Twisted Timbers has a great one. And now you're starting to see Intamin put them on their coasters. And then even I don't know, if Gerstlauer is going to start probably doing it too with their their Infinities and Eurofighters. I can see it happening because I think they're catching on that it's a pretty crazy, great element.
I guess I'll go next. For me, I think my favorite, I don't know if you can exactly call it an element, but the first drop on X2, if it's a specific one, yeah, that's like my favorite, like anything on a coaster. And then as for like a specific element, there's I guess it is similar to the Outer Bank, but like the off-axis airtime hills, like the one on Railblazer and a few other coasters have things like it that I've ridden. I would say that's my favorite like general coaster element.
Okay, so for as a general element, drops definitely, specifically drops that are either like super sustained, like hyper drops, or beyond vertical drops. And for a specific element, is actually not a drop, it's Accelerator's launch. Even though I've ridden, I think, 17 new coasters this year, Accelerator's launch still takes the cake.
It doesn't get much better than that. I rode Max Force, and I think Accelerator's launch still felt better than that for whatever reason. Even if it's not better stat-wise, it just felt more like a gut punch. Left your stomach in the station. For me, at least, I don't know.
There is one more question. This is, I guess, related. You don't have to answer this if you don't want to, Chris. But some people are asking for the Discord server. I think you've explained it somewhere, but I guess some people want to know why on your server you're not active. I imagine you're pretty busy. It's pretty understandable.
Yeah. Well, the main reason for that is that I've tried many times to get Discord to work on my phone. It just won't do it. I don't know why.
Oh.
I mean, maybe if I got a new phone, I can try it again. So basically, if I want to be on Discord, I have to do it here at my office, and I have so very limited time in my office, and this is where I need to write, research, edit, record. So I try to respond to Instagram DMs. I try to respond to YouTube comments. I can do that all on my phone when I'm not in the office. But Discord, I just have to be here, and there's just absolutely no time.
Yeah, that's fair. Dang, I wasn't aware that it literally didn't even work on your phone. That would be crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I've had so many issues with the Discord, even on my laptop. When we do live streams or
the Q&A
podcasts and stuff. But yeah, I've had just so many issues with it. So I don't know what's up with Discord.
Dang, that's rough. All right, so yeah, there's your guys' answer there. And with that being said, we're gonna get started with the quiz. If that's all right with you guys. And that'll be on myquiz.org. You can still get on if you haven't yet, but I'm going to be starting that right now. Quiz is the link is pinned, and then also I have the code up here. So we're going to start right now. Like I said, 10 questions. So we're going to start right now. And this is coaster related trivia. The next one toward the end will be like stream related stuff. But the first question is, what year did Wicked Twister open? 2006, 2001, 2002, or 1997? And the correct answer is 2002. It actually opened on May 5th of that year, 2 years after Millennium Force. So, yeah, for those who didn't know, that's when it opened. Almost operated for 20 years at Cedar Point, almost. Next question, what is the name of this coaster? Fight of the... yeah, I'll just the one in the picture obviously is the one I'm referring to.
It's like Intamin's only family invert coaster, something like
Yep.
that.
Yep, Drage Kongen or Kongen. I probably totally butchered that. That's the name of it. And it
Didn't
is
get that one right.
And yeah, I mean that one is difficult for those who it is an international coaster, so yeah. Which is faster between these two, Goliath at Wallaby Holland or Tatsu at Six Flags Magic Mountain? And the correct answer is Goliath.
Okay.
It has a faster top speed at 65.9 miles per hour compared to Tatsu's 62. How many inversions does Dominator have? 5 inversions, 6 inversions, 4 inversions, or 7 inversions? I guess anyone who's written it, that gives you an advantage, potentially. But correct answer is 5 inversions. Vertical loop, cobra roll, which is 2 inversions, and 2 corkscrews are included on the coaster. Next question. Wooden Dragons roller coaster, the Gravity Group wooden coaster, is at which park? And yes, this is it in the picture. What park is it located at? This is the one that just opened this year for those who don't know. New for 2021.
I'm so bad at Chinese parks.
That's fair.
Same.
Correct answer is Jinan Sunak Land. That is where the coaster is located. Elite Coasters is in first place, and by a good margin up to this point. Next question. Skyliner at Lakemont Park originally operated at which park? I guess I didn't have Lakemont as an option. I should have put that in. Oh well. But it operated somewhere else at first.
I should know this. I just wrote this.
Correct
I have no
answer
idea.
is Roseland Park, which was in New York in 1960. But the coaster closed in 1985 along with the park before getting relocated. So for those who don't know, that's where it came from. What year was Aero Development founded in? Basically, what year was Aero founded in? But I didn't want to put that in because it kind of went through different phases. So, yeah.
Name changes.
Correct answer is 1945 in Mountain View, California. That is when it was founded. Next
Wait, did
question.
Matterhorn open with the park or with Disneyland?
No, it did not. It opened in like the mid-50s, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What country was U-shaped roller coaster in? This is an infamous Intamin coaster that did not do very well. U-shaped coaster took an L. But anyways, this is a coaster in China. Yes.
It took an L, not a U.
And the park is called Victory Kingdom. It's just sad. How many riders can be seated per train on Thunderbird at Holiday World? And I mean, I guess it won't help, but it is different than the other wing coasters. It seats a max of 20 riders per train, which is less than every other existing B&M wing coaster. So that's also something. Last question is, what is the oldest operating roller coaster at Six Flags Fiesta Texas? This one's
That one's tough.
yeah,
That's
it
tough.
is. It is difficult. And the correct answer is Streamliner Coaster. It opened in 1992. And for those wondering about Goliath, because it got relocated, it still opened a few years afterwards at I forget where it operated at originally, but wherever it originally operated.
Oh, was it in Japan, I think?
Yes, it was in Japan, then New Orleans, then
Yeah.
the Fiesta, Texas. But it still didn't open before Streamliner. So for the quiz, Elite Coasters comes in first place, 61 points. Very well done. The Quacken, 53 points in second. And Mr. Color Roaster in third with 51 points. Gosh dang, Jace.
Jace
You're
beat me
always
by
in fourth,
3.
it seems like. That is rough. And then, but yeah, you're in fourth, and then Chris came in fifth, and so on and so forth. But thank you to everyone who participated. And yeah, that was fun. That was good fun there. So that is that. And with that being said, we're gonna move on to our next segment. I did mention the format of the stream changed up a little bit. I flipped a few things around, like the order. So we're actually gonna be doing questions for the viewers. And the first question is coasters that were surprisingly rough or uncomfortable. Idea comes from the video you did.
The
Not too
surprisingly
long
rough
ago.
coasters.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
Great video.
Thank you.
I don't remember what your one was though.
My
No.
my one was Shellraiser.
Okay.
Makes
It was
sense.
just fun. It was just so funny on that one because everyone was fighting for the front row, and then like halfway through the day, everyone started fighting for the back because they realized the front had a big old pothole.
That's funny.
I have
Those Gerst
3,
R's.
but you
I
guys
see
can
Gold
go first.
Striker on here. Gold Striker is definitely. I mean, at this point, I don't know. It was rough when I wrote it. It was 5 years old, so I could totally understand that. But like now, I wrote it again this year, and it was pretty damn rough. But still, at this point, it's 8 years old. So what do you expect?
Yeah. I wrote it opening year. That it was smooth as heck. And then a few years back when I wrote it, I mean in the front I thought it was fine, but it was running a little slower than the last time I wrote it, which was more disappointing than like it being a little rough in a few spots. But yeah.
It would be cool riding Gold Striker in its opening year.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. Georgia Cyclone. I mean,
Rep.
I feel.
Were you
Oh wait.
surprised?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it did get RMC'd, so yeah. So I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. Rip Ride Rocket.
You know, I was having so much fun on that. I didn't even realize it was rough. But my brother was like, "Yeah, that thing ran rough." I was like, "Okay, I'll take your word for it." I was like blown away by that thing.
Dang. Nemesis. Yeah, I've heard that hasn't aged too well at this point, and there's been rumors of overhaul at some point, but we'll see if that ever happens.
Oh,
Well,
put
it
up
probably
a-
will, but
If
when
you
it
Guy
happens.
Productions and Credit Coasters Loop, oh my god.
Oh gosh, yeah, I would
Oh my
agree with
God.
that.
Oh my god.
I think that gave me like a headache for like the rest of the day.
Me too. Me
It was
too.
that bad.
And it's the only part of the ride that's rough, but it's like
The newest
whole,
part.
like, the track is like jagged in there. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, the loop actually got like replaced and now it's rougher.
Yeah.
it's like a Hulk situation, I guess, or at least according to a lot of people, but one element, which is really weird. It was a little shuffly when I did it, but that was opening year, I think. So, yeah. Let's see. Wildcat at Lake Compounds. I mean, it's an old wooden coaster, so
I've heard it's
Yeah.
rough, but I mean surprisingly rough. I don't know.
yeah. Cheetah at Wild Adventures. Rest
I heard
in
that
peace.
one's terrible. I wanted to get some like pictures of it when I went to Wild Adventures this year. I think it's so hard to see. Like I don't even know how. Like I saw like peeking above the trees. I don't even know like how to get there. It's weird.
Dang. King Ka. you were expecting it to be rough, but didn't expect it to be as bad as it was. I have not ridden it,
Oh,
so I
boy.
can't say a thing.
Yeah, King to Cause, like at the end of the launch track, it feels like the whole thing's just gonna just fall apart.
Dang. Have you done it in front row? What rows have you done that one in?
I've never done it in the very front. I've done it in the back and probably in the middle.
Dang. I wonder how it would be in the front.
Yeah.
Let's see. Magnum, but you should have known better. I actually didn't have too much issues with the roughness. The restraints was my bigger issue with
Magnum's
it.
a little bit shaky in the valleys, but I mean, for an arrow that age and that size, I think it's fine.
Tied between Racer 75 and Grizzly at King's Dominion. Racer 75, I mean, I haven't heard too much about that. Grizzly.
I don't think either one of those were that bad. I rode those 3 years ago. I thought they were okay. It wasn't terrible or anything, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I hope it's better. The Grizzly at King's Dominion seems a lot better than the one at CPA. So.
Yeah. It may be a little rougher, but it actually does something, which is something that Great America can't say.
Grizzly isn't. It's like Grizzly, in my experience, wasn't even rough. It just has like a little shuffle, and that's kind of it. So yeah,
It's just boring.
Silver Bullet at Frontier City, Schwarzkopf Looper, right? So interesting.
It's intense. It's fast and intense. I didn't really think it's rough, but yeah. I mean, Sophie has no tolerance for roughness. So if something's like even remotely rough, she'll hate it. But she likes Silver Bullet, so that's kind of my barometer.
Yeah, actually, I guess that actually is good because now sometimes when you're riding a coaster, you don't notice it, so it's interesting like when you have someone else with you that will. So that's cool. I'll go through. I'm not gonna go through all of them because there's a lot of people, but if there's any ones that stick out to either of you, you can tell me, and I'll kind of go through. I'll kind of like go through a few. Mean Streak. I mean, if you weren't going in with the expectation that it would be rough, but I mean, I heard it was really bad, so it probably was still surprising regardless.
I see a couple Banshees on here.
Yeah,
Banshee definitely has a little bit of a rattle. It didn't really bother me that much, but it's kind of strange for a B&M that new. But it's all the whole Kings Island being on loose soil theory that could be true. I don't know. I mean, Diamondback definitely. I mean, Diamondback has a rattle, haha, funny, but it's true. It does.
Wonder Woman Golden Lasso coaster and Superman Krypton coaster. That's interesting.
Superman Krypton coaster has given me a headache in the past. Wonder Woman having a rattle, I've not heard of that.
I've done Railblazer. It's not even that significant, but there is a little rattle toward the end of the ride, but it's very minor. So I can't really speak too much on that. I saw Wild Mouse at Hershey, and
I wouldn't say
some people
Wild Mouse
don't like
at Hershey
that
was
right at all.
I wouldn't say Wild Mouse at Hershey is rough, but it was running fast, so it was like all the turns were very uncomfortable and jerky. So yeah, that's why.
Honestly, that sounds kind of fun.
In the middle.
I see Saw the Ride on here. That's another one, another Gerstlauer that has a problem with potholes. That seems to happen. I don't know. That was my big problem with Shellraiser.
Ooh, I saw El Toro turn around.
Yep.
Interesting.
The El Toro's turnaround is by far the roughest part.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense.
I actually got like 3 to 4 coasters for this question.
All right, yeah, I already mentioned. Yeah, go for it.
So Matterhorn, when I first rode it, I didn't know it was the first ever steel coaster, so I thought it was just going to be like a fun little family coaster, and then it was like rougher and jerky. But then when I rode it the second time, I had the lower expectation, so it was actually pretty fun. And then Coast Rider, I was for like surprisingly uncomfortable, and then Hang Time was surprisingly rattly, and Candemonium actually had a rattle at the bottom of the first drop when I rode it.
Wow. Okay. That's
so,
interesting.
I'd agree with you with Coast Rider as surprisingly uncomfortable. Another one I'd call surprisingly uncomfortable was Valraven. I'd only done one B&M Best Restraint coaster before, so and I didn't
Yeah.
find it to be that bad. But if you get stapled on those, it's
Like,
not fun.
yeah, like I mean, like I rode X Flight at Great America recently, and those things tighten so much that they'll either compress your chest or they'll pinch your thighs. And last time I rode X Flight, it was the chest. This time it was my thighs. So I just don't
Ugh.
like the best restraints.
For me, it
So
was the chest. So
I see Cube Control said Diamondback isn't rough at all. Diamondback has a really rough part, I think, right after the trimmed hill or right before the trimmed hill. I forgot which one. That's where the train like really, really shakes. So for the most part, it's pretty smooth. But that one spot of the ride, it's almost like a jackhammer. That's how bad it is.
wow, for a B&M Hyper, that's surprising to hear
Yeah.
for sure. But as someone who hasn't ridden one, so can't really say much. But yeah. All right, we'll move on to the next question, which is favorite water ride you've experienced. I guess we can answer as the chat is responding. So, Jace, you want to go first with this one?
This does include log flumes and river rapids, right?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. So then, in that case, mine would be Timber Mountain Log Ride at Knott's Berry Farm. Very well themed. It actually goes at like a faster pace compared to like most log flumes or like that I've seen. So I like that part of it. And yeah, overall, it's just like a really well-rounded ride.
Yeah, I don't like water
That's a good
rides. I
one.
try to avoid them. That's why I never rode Perilous Plunge, because I just didn't want to walk around soaked all day. And now I kind of regret not doing it because it's gone.
Yeah.
So I do like log flumes though. So we got Log Jammer at Magic Mountain was really good, and Timber Mountain Log Ride's a great choice, and Splash Mountain's also a great one.
I'm between Splash Mountain and Timber Mountain Log Ride. Those are like really close for me, so either one will work. We'll say though, the last time I rode Splash Mountain, and I guess I'll be doing it again, but it was not in the best of states in terms of like all the effects working, so that was disappointing.
So I see Mystic River Falls.
Ooh.
Ooh,
That's
yeah, that's a
definitely
good
that
one.
I'd want to try out, but at the same time, God, I hate getting
Shot
soaked.
Buzz is very good too, from what I heard.
Yeah. Chiapas, that thing I've heard. I haven't looked at POVs for most of these, to be honest, so
Better to be
but
surprised.
they intrigue me. Tidal Wave at Thorpe Park. I have not heard of this one, so I assume I guess it probably. Oh wait, actually wait, no, I think I have. Never mind. Yeah, okay, I think I know what that is. Mammoth at Holiday World. Have you done the the water coasters there, Chris, or no?
No, I've never been in the water park. Again, I don't do water parks. I don't do water rides. I'm like a cat. Like I don't like getting wet.
Yeah, no, I was just curious because it's like, yeah, you just mentioned that you don't do water rides.
I went to
outside
the
of
water park.
flumes.
I think I went a few times back in like 2001 when I was in high school, and then I went once in 2011, and I haven't been back since.
Yeah,
Don't do water
it's been a
parks.
while since I've been to a water park, admittedly. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of with you there. The Bugs Bunny log flume at Fiesta, Texas. Oh, is that the one that they're changing? No,
No, that's over
that's not.
Texas.
Yeah,
Over Texas is
yeah,
rethemed
over
their-
Texas is the one
the one
changing
ride.
it. Okay,
Yeah.
that seems cool. Like a cool one. I haven't done that. Have you done the one at Fiesta, Texas, Chris, or no?
No, I didn't
Yeah.
even know they had a log flume. I know they had like a shoot the shoots. They're over by Batman, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not even aware of. I've been to Fiesta Texas a bunch of times. I haven't even seen a log flume there, so I don't know.
Mystic River Falls. Mystery River log flume. I have not heard of this, so I'll have to look into that. Perilous Plunge.
F.
Yeah. F.
Just rub it, the salt in my wound. Yeah, I should have written it once. Whatever. Quacken's Coaster says, if I'm like a cat, then why do I own a dog? My dog is the size of a cat. So let's see. He's right here, actually.
Oh, nice. Hey,
He's just sleeping under my desk. So yeah.
that's cool. Made a guest appearance.
He's 7 pounds, and yes, he's like a small cat.
Aw.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. About the size of a cat, you're right.
He's offended now. He wants to leave.
Dang. Oh
My bad.
man. Let's see what other ones have come through. Uh, guessing just lazy rivers. Like, yeah, I used to do them at water parks, but I haven't been to a water park since I think literally middle school. So, yeah, we have two local ones here too, but I just don't go very often.
Theme Park Guide Production
Popeyes.
said, Theme Park Guide Production said Jurassic World at Universal Studios Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
I wrote it as Jurassic Park, but I never wrote it as Jurassic World. But I thought
it's down
Jurassic
here.
Park was pretty fun.
I wrote that, I think, last, probably in 2014. That's a good one. Yeah, it soaks you, but it's a good one.
For me, 2016.
Jurassic. Yeah, Jurassic Park. I did it as that too. I that one would probably be like my number 3 water ride.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how Jurassic World is. But yeah, that's a good pick for sure. Let's see. Popeyes. Yeah, the rapids. Yeah, I've heard good things about that. Actually, I'm surprised I haven't seen like a Dudley Do Rides or anything like
Yeah,
that.
that one looks cool. Yeah,
That one
I've
looks
never
so
ridden that one
fun.
either.
Yeah, I want to do that one. I want to do that really badly. Although I think you will get pretty wet on that one, but dang. I think that's all the ones I'm seeing up to this point, so we'll probably move on to the next question. I
We need a
saw
dog
someone.
video.
Yes, we need a dog video. Thanks for the donation, Sopbug. I see you coming in clutch. Thank you. No, but hey, there you go. Now you have a new video idea.
Yeah. You want no joke? My goal is to get my dog a credit at some point in his life. I'm thinking it might have to be someone's backyard coaster or something, or like
Oh
maybe
my
at Knoebels. Like he's a lot of Knoebels. Maybe I can sneak him on Cosmos curves or something. But like
Oh
he's
boy.
9 years old now, so I'm running out of time. So I need to get him on something. So I'll figure it out.
Oh man. Now people are wanting like a
Wish you
rank.
luck.
Dog themed coasters. Oh my gosh.
Max's doggy dog coaster number 1.
That's so
fine.
true. Right? They should have like a special where you can take your dog on Max's doggy dog coaster when it gets moved.
Oh
Oh,
boy.
that'd be amazing. Or for those in Denmark, dog fart coaster. That'd be another
Yeah.
good one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just saw people in the chat. So yeah. All right. Last question for the viewers we have. Name one of the craziest or most memorable experience you've had. That's a pretty vague way to put it, but just basically it doesn't have to do with a park. Like say you've done like skydiving or something along those lines, basically. Or just something unique. It doesn't have to be something super crazy. But you have any you want to share?
I try not to do crazy things. Usually it ends badly. I think maybe just trying to go to like 4 parks in one day. I've done that a few times,
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
and that's like that boardwalk day was just that day was amazing as it was. It screwed up the whole rest of our trip because it put us behind everywhere.
boy.
Yeah, so like the whole the last 3 or 4 days of the trip were just completely destroyed by what we did that day. So.
Dang.
But it was worth it though because it was awesome. But yeah, just trying to hit that much stuff in a short amount of time. It's it's not skydiving, but it's still pretty crazy.
Yeah. Jace, you got one?
For my craziest theme park experience, since I'm like kind of new, like I don't really have that much credits. I guess I don't really have too many crazy experiences, but I'd say I never like usually I would never spontaneously plan a theme park trip. Like usually I would just like plan it like far in advance, like do all of the research, get everything prepared, and then go to the park. But Illich Gardens, we were actually like, so we knew we were going to go into Colorado, but I thought we were going to do just like an alpine coaster. But it turns out like Illich Gardens is much closer than the nearest alpine coaster to where we were. So somehow my mom was convinced, oh, we could go to Illich Gardens because it's like a smaller park and it's like super close to where we were. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're going to Illich Gardens. Yeah, I kind of like panicked a little bit trying to like do all the sort of like research I wanted to do before visiting there. And it turned out to be a really great day. Like the craziest part too is that like a lot of the coasters were open. Like I heard like a lot of people that like
That
all
doesn't
of the
make any
coasters like
sense. Were you sure you were at English Gardens? Are you sure you were at the right place?
From the
I'm
way he
pretty
described it to me, I was like, did you really go to that far?
I'm pretty sure it was at a Lich Gardens.
Are you sure it didn't have like a lagoon sign over?
I'm pretty sure I walked through that like enclosed like entrance at a Lich Gardens. Sidewinder was open. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, overall, it was like the most spontaneous trip theme park visit I've ever done, and usually that doesn't happen for me. So yeah, it was just a legendary day.
Yeah, I can imagine, and it went well for you, so that's good.
Surprisingly well.
For me, I guess I just have a unique experience in that this is not related to theme parks, but if you've ever heard of the Georgia Aquarium, it has the whale sharks. I've actually snorkeled in the big tank there, so that's pretty cool. That's probably something I've done that probably not a whole lot of other people have, but I thought I should throw it out. Let's see what some of you guys that got though. Let's see. Front row lightning rod in the rain. That sounds painful.
Boy.
I did front row fury in the rain.
Oh no. Oh yeah, I remember that.
I put my hoodie over my face so it wouldn't hurt so bad, and I ended up getting waterboarded. So
Oh.
that was a fun
Oh
experience.
no.
I saw a rollback on Maverick. Huh. Interesting. That is a weird one for sure.
Interesting.
And Millie broke down in the station while you in there 3 times. Oof. Twisted Timbers, just in general. First RMC is a crazy experience for sure. Just like, I mean, it's the first RMC you've done, so that's definitely a memorable one. Iron Rattler in the back row. Yeah, the first drop. I want to do that so bad. If you guys see any that you want me to point out, I'll do that. But yeah. Oh, Drexler in the front row. Yeah, that was insane for sure.
That's one
I
thing I
agree
still
with
have
that.
never done, just because I don't want to wait for it. I figure if I wait 3 extra trains for it, it'll probably break down. I'll never get on it, so I just try to get on the train as fast as possible.
I'm telling you, you gotta at least do it once. I know, like, yeah, you're like the luck. I would highly recommend it. It's insane. Funny enough, though, I haven't done Accelerator in the front row ever, which
Oh, really? Yeah, I've done that. That one's hard to do.
I've done a front row ride. Yeah, it's hard
unless you're
because-
with a bigger group. Like unless you're with a group of 3 or 4, I wouldn't recommend trying because you'll end up waiting an extra 45 minutes for it, and you might not even get the front car. Like you might get the row 2 instead of row 1.
oh, what the heck?
It's
Wow.
like challenging.
It's a crapshoot.
That's man, that's tough. I'll have to
If
keep
you
that
want to
in
do it,
mind.
get there right when they open and head right over there. I did that one time and we got like 14 straight rides, the front and the back. So
Problem
your
is,
best
I
bet.
go there during scary farms, so that's not exactly
Oh.
conducive to success.
Yeah.
Even with like the fast lane, it's like Accelerator is still like one of the most brutal lines ever. So
I
yeah,
see the roughness on Lobby Bora. Yeah, that thing, especially if you're not in the front row. If you're in the second or third, you will bang your knees around so bad on that thing, you can't even walk afterwards. But the front's cool. Like the front's fun.
dang. Also something I'll have to keep in mind. That sounds pretty brutal. Let's see what else we have. Oh, Mr. Cold Roaster also did 4 parks in one day, but they were all really small parks. I mean, even still, that's like wild. I mean, I think I've done like 2 in one day. And I'm trying to even think of, I think I have. I'm just struggling to think of the ones they were, but they weren't anything too major. So.
Yeah, so I mean, I did it twice. Other than the Jersey one, the Jersey one was legit because each of those parks had at least like 3 rides. But like I've done boardwalks, like 2 boardwalks, then like ZDTs in Fiesta Texas. I've done that, and I also did like the Idlewild and Del Grossos and Lakemont and Knoebel. So those are all smaller ones also. But the Jersey one was nuts.
Yeah.
Maurice Piers had 7 credits I needed, and they were spread out across 3 different piers. for God's sake. Yeah.
Wow. Someone else had a rollback on Maverick. I never hear about that. So
No,
that's
I haven't either.
I am surprised to even hear that. And then
Stanford
see.
Bridge wants to know if you went on Kaleidoscope.
Oh,
I did not, unfortunately. I only had
Alright.
like 5 hours at the park, but I saw it and I was like, oh, I heard this ride was really good. But at this point, I was just trying to get like as much credits as possible. So
Yeah.
it's
Enjoyed the kiddie
unfortunate.
coaster? Enjoyed the-
I could not because
Okay.
it was a kit. You need a kit in order to
Okay.
in order to ride it. I did have
Ooh.
my smaller brother, but he wanted to ride it alone, I guess, and I was like, I don't need the kitty credit.
You wouldn't ride it alone? That's selfish.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, it is. I mean, honestly though, that enough miler looked pretty good. I wanted to
It's
ride
pretty
it.
good, yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm like, dang. So that's all. That's the questions for the viewers. And the next thing we're gonna do after this, is the shout out. So this one will be a little different than my previous ones because I just want to thank all the previous guests I've ever had for the Coaster Time streams. I've had 18 up to this point. 808 Coaster Life, Coaster Daddy, Airtime Thrills, Phantom Coasters, Theme Park Media, Theme Park Hunting, Theme Park Crazy, Callie the Coaster Enthusiast, Theme Park Horizons, Theme Park HQ, formerly Itai, Coaster Fanatic, Keystone Thrills, formerly Hershey Addict, Western New York Coasters, he reached 4,000 subs recently, so gotta shout him out. I've also, Sean Flaherty has also done this as well, Coast Tunes, Canopy Coaster, who's reached 7,000 subs, so great for him there. El Toro Ryan, who also reached a milestone 75,000 subs, and then Coaster Roaster, Coaster Chaw. Thank you to everyone, as I mentioned. I have their links in the description. I had them as app mentions because of the character limit. But make sure to check out any of those channels that you haven't already. So I just wanted to say that. And then for the YouTube shoutouts, channels that reached milestones recently, Coaster Dash reached 7,000 subs, and he has been a growing channel for sure. And another California enthusiast, so very good job there. Very consistent with his content, for sure. Oh, I guess I should mention, for you guys, if you want to say something after I go through each channel, then you can, or at the end, I guess, so if that makes sense. But yeah. And then for the next channel I have, the Coaster Scoop is near 1,000 subs. I think he's literally less than 7 subs away, so make sure to check him out. He's got some great POVs and like drone footage, amazing drone footage, so make sure to check him out. Airtime Productions is near 1,000 subs. Consistent viewer of these streams, so congratulations on almost being there. And pretty consistent content as well. Theme Park Blitz is near 1,000 subs. Just moved to South Korea actually also, so that's going to be some interesting content. Yeah, I can't wait for that. So make sure to check him out. He's near 1,000 subs. He's got great videos. And like I said, like just because he's going to be in South Korea now, that there's going to be like a lot of unique content there just because like that's a part of the world that we don't really have much content from, so that's really cool. For sure. And then we have the Coaster Josh, who is near 4,000 subs. Another great channel. He has been a little on and off in terms of uploads, but he was growing quite quickly when he started. Does sort of like theory videos and things of that sort. Is well known for the B&M Surf Coaster videos, of course.
Yes.
And then Cedar Flags is the last one. He is near 7,000 subs. Another channel that's very consistent with content. Yeah, so those are all the channels I had to mention. Make sure to check them out if you haven't already. And if either of you two have anything to add on to that, then you can say it right now, I guess.
El Toro Ryan has smoked me in subs. I used to double up his subs like a year and a half ago, and now he's like almost doubling mine. So I got nothing to say about that.
Dang.
I like Cedar Flags' One Coaster Family Tree video. I thought it was very intriguing.
I'll have to check that out then. I have not yet, so I need to do that. But yeah, all these channels, make sure to check them out if you haven't already. Links are in the description. Oh, and then one last shout out. I've been doing this more recently. Guess the guest winners. You can follow me on Instagram, and before the streams, I'll actually give the opportunity to guess the guest. And so we had 3 people correctly guess. You only have to guess one of them correctly. And I give you a few opportunities, but the guest winners we have are Coaster Cloud. Make sure to check his channel out. I have that linked in the description. The Ambassador from Theme Park ERT was correctly able to guess you, Chris. So he gets a shout out, and you can check out his Instagram account. That's linked in the description. And Coaster Charter guessed you, Jace. So I have his YouTube channel in the description. So congratulations to everyone who correctly guessed. And that is something new I've been doing more recently. So yeah. And now we're going to move into the tier list. So this is going to be 20 random coasters we've ridden. I have, and we're basically going to be talking about them. Some of these only one of us have ridden, some of these all of us have ridden, and some of these 2 of us have ridden, so it'll be kind of interesting. And if we have like an argument, we'll look to the chat to see what the scores are there to kind of even it out, basically. So that's how this is going to work. And I'm going to share the screen, and we'll get started right away. So yeah, this is a newer segment for those who haven't watched in a good bit. So the first coaster we have is Valraven at Cedar Point, already starting off on a controversial note, I'll just say.
I got a video coming out about my last Cedar Point experience that's coming out in I think next week. So yeah, less than a week from now. And I have some new thoughts on Valraven. So
ooh, interesting.
Yeah. So I would maybe stick that in the B tier.
I have it at let's see. I had it written down, yeah. I have it in C, so I okay, that's fair. I think I can bump it up to B. I'm cool with that. Yeah, okay, and I've seen B. I think, well, yeah, we'll put it in B. That's fair. I think that's fair. Next coaster we have is, oh wait, Jace, actually, do you have any? I mean, I guess you haven't ridden it, but
yeah, I haven't ridden it, but I'd say it looks like either a B or a C tier ride.
Yeah, I think everyone agrees, like BC. So yeah. Next coaster we have is Beast. Chris, you've ridden this.
Yep. Yeah, Beast. Ooh, I'd put that in the C. Sorry.
All right. I can't argue with you there. So, and yeah. Next coaster we have is Raging Bull, which is another one that I guess you've only ridden up to this point.
Raging Bull, I would put that in, the A tier.
Okay, A.
Not quite S, but A is by far the lowest. I'd go with that.
Alrighty. I guess the order of this did not come out right. I think the ones that you've ridden, Jace, like they're all kind of backlogged toward like the end of the one. So I'm gonna change this up. Next we have Arrow Shuttle Loops. I have Sidewinder, but because Chris, you haven't ridden it, I guess Arrow Shuttle Loops will just be it.
Yeah, I've ridden Diamondback, which should be the same thing, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
What would you say, Jace?
I would say B. It was really fun, but it was definitely kind of short. It does have some good airtime moments though, and the loop was pretty forceful.
Yeah, I would say it's between B and C. I'm okay with putting it B.
All right, we're gonna put it in B then. Next coaster we have is rest in peace, Wicked Twister.
F.
To be honest, wait, what?
Just F.
Oh wait, I thought you meant F tier. I'm like,
oh my bad. F. Press F to pay respects, that kind of thing.
I'm like, whoa, all right, right out the gate. Chris, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking put it in C.
I'm between C and D on this. I think just because it's going, I'll bump it up to C.
I don't think it deserves B.
I said D, not B.
No, I know. I'm just saying. Oh, okay.
Oh,
You said you were thinking about D.
Yeah. I was not the biggest fan of the ride, but yeah, I can bump it up to C. That's for sure. Next coaster we have, I have to look at my thing again just because I only have pictures. Boulder Dash is the next one. Chris?
Boulder Dash. Okay. That one, that's a good one. B. Put it in B.
Alrighty. I will see any. Chat, you can also say what you guys think. We're getting some A's.
It looks
This
like
is
an
an-
A tier ride, but I haven't ridden it, so it could probably be
If
like
the
really
chat
rough
has,
with it.
if there's enough people in the chat that like say A, I think I might stick it there just because.
Yeah, I mean, I think I got some bad rides on it. So if people want to put it in A, that's cool with me too.
Already, chat, what do you think of Boulder Dash?
It seems like A is the.
Yeah, I think.
Boulder Dash.
All right, we're gonna put it in A then. Next
Chat says
coaster we
A.
have is Lightning Racer at Hershey Park.
Ooh.
We've all ridden this one.
Lightning
Ooh.
Racer. Lightning Racer is a good old D for me.
Really?
Actually,
Wow. I have it
I
at
would
B.
say, like-
What do you say, Jace?
I would say like A or B. So I guess B would probably be a sweet spot.
People in the chat are saying C, D, B, C. We might.
Oh
I
gosh.
think. You know what? We might put it. I think just evening it out.
Average
I
it
think it's
out.
gonna be a C.
Yeah, put
so,
it in the C to average it out.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. We're gonna do it. We're gonna put it in C. There we go.
I guess I'm fine with that.
Next coaster we have is Storm Runner at Hershey Park. Another one we've all ridden.
I don't know.
Stormrunner is a tough one. I would, man, I put that. That's a good question. Either A or
S
B.
or
What do you
A.
think? What do you think, Jace?
Oh really?
I'm
I was thinking S or A.
Oh wow.
So I guess A then.
I think everyone's agreeing with A tier. Some people are saying S. It's not quite there for me. I
I could see
understand
it
though.
being an
It's
S tier ride.
really good, but I think A. I think everyone will kind of agree with that, so we'll go with that.
Yeah, Quacken, you're right. I should have put Lightning Racer on my polarizing coasters list. Maybe back then I didn't realize just how many people liked it.
Yeah.
I'd
Next
say it
coaster we
wasn't-
have. Oh wait, what?
Alright.
Jason, what are you gonna say?
I'd say it's not overrated or underrated. It's just like it's just fun. It's a really fun ride. Lightning.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Lightning Racer?
sorry, I was talking about Lightning Racer.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. It just, to me, it just bores the hell out of me.
That's I could see that. Let's see. Next coaster we have is Texas Tornado. Yes, that's the one at
Texas
Wonderland.
Tornado. I mean, just based on everything that I'm seeing here, like the way we're kind of ranking them up, it deserves to be in the D tier.
Oh really? Dang.
Yeah.
Oh wait, not F. Yeah. Rip. Next coaster we have is Carolina Cyclone at Carowinds.
I
Oh,
only rode this once, and it was a long time ago. Gosh, I don't know. C or D for me. What do you guys think in this?
All right, chat. What do we think about Carolina Cyclone? Let's see. Someone. Okay, I think the S is a joke. There's
Yeah.
no way. B, D.
I would
Don't
say a
spam,
D
please.
tier. I haven't
spam,
ridden
please.
it, but I would say it's a D tier ride without having ridden
I
it.
think yeah, we're gonna go D. Like I said, don't spam, guys, please. And then the next coaster we have is the original Colossus at Six
Ooh.
Flags Magic Mountain.
The original Colossus that deserves to be in the B tier.
B.
Yeah.
Actually,
Oh, I did not. I wrote it in its last year, so I'm biased, but I have it in D because it was just not great. But
so C evens it out.
chat, what do we think? I can see B like when it was like not toward the end of its life. I could understand that. I'm seeing B, C.
It looks like
all
a
right,
C tier ride, but
Stanford, if
up to you guys.
Stanford, I plan on riding Texas Tornado again at some point. I drive through Amarillo all the time. I was supposed to ride it in June, but that didn't work out. If I ride it again, I will change my. I'll do a video on it and I'll let you know if it changes. But the one ride I had and it was pretty janky and kind of boring, so that's why I have a D.
Dang. I guess, yeah, we're gonna put it in B. It looks like more people are saying B than C, so we're gonna do that. For a Colossus at Magic Mountain. I would have loved to ride it opening year, but that was way before my time.
Yeah,
So
mine
because I heard
too,
it was
thank God.
great. Yeah. Next coaster we have is Hang Time, another one that all three of us have ridden. Who wants to go first?
I would put Hang Time based on these rankings. I'd put it in the B.
I'm gonna agree
I would
with
say
you
A,
there.
but I'm a little biased, so I guess B tier. I'm fine with
All
B
right,
tier.
chat, Hang Time. What are we thinking? I'm gonna stick it in for B. We'll see what comes up, but I think that's gonna be the. Yeah. Okay. Yep. That's pretty definitive. Yep. Everyone says B. So sorry,
I'd say
Jace.
It's all right. I'd still say Hang Time's probably better than all of the rides in B tier, but I guess it does kind of seem like a B tier ride. I don't know if it would be like any of the ones in A tier though. So
Yeah. Next coaster we have Great Bear at Hershey Park. So another
Ooh.
one.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Great Bear, but I don't think I'd quite put it in A. I'd put that in B.
I would agree with you there.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a great invert. I rode in the back, and it definitely felt faster paced than the other invert I've ridden. But I'd say I don't think it would be like on par with the rides in A tier. So I would say B tier.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Next ride we have is Green Lantern, the stand-up at Six Flags Great Adventure, which only you've ridden, Chris.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed this last time I rode it. I think it's either a B or a C though. Gosh, I'd put it in B, but I bet you the chat's probably gonna disagree with me on that one.
Already, chat, what are we thinking for Green Lantern? I see a C, B, F. But if you don't like stand-ups, understandable. C,
Oh boy.
D, C.
D.
Yeah, you can put it in C.
Yeah,
I had a really good ride
I
on
think
it.
it's gonna even out. Yeah,
I rode it. I
So-
rode it in last time I rode it was October 2019 during Fright Fest, and it was so forceful. I don't know. I liked it, but it's fine. Yeah,
I think
C's
we all
good.
know where the next coaster is gonna go.
Yeah, this is Velocicoaster.
Yeah, you can go ahead and just stick that right in the S.
Yeah. I don't think that'll get too much pushback. Next coaster is Magnum XL200 at Cedar Point. Another kind of
Magnum.
the polarizing one. Chris,
After my last few rides on Magnum, I'm putting that S.
really?
Yeah,
I
It's
have it.
almost top 10.
I have it at B. All right, chat. What do we think for Magnum? Is it? I see A, S, C.
Without having ridden it, I'd say it could be like either a high A tier or a mid A tier.
All right.
I
All
don't know,
right.
just,
We're getting
people,
a bunch
people
of
just focus so much on the finale, but the whole rest of the ride, and especially in the back, gives you just like tons of airtime. So I would put it S, but I don't know.
I think it's tough. I think we're gonna stick in an A for now. Yeah, because I think that's it's kind of evening out between that, and we did get I think we're gonna put an A.
A lot of
Next-
the S's are being spammed, so
I know, I did see that, so actually I'm
let's
gonna
put that into proportion.
fix that real quick. But anyways, next coaster we have is Monster at Adventureland. So another one that you've only ridden, but it
Yeah.
is similar to Hang Time. So,
Yeah, Monster.
well, sort of.
No. It's
Actually,
not
no,
similar
it's
to Hang Time.
Well, it's an infinity, but that's
Yeah,
probably
I'm
where it
just
ends.
joking. Yeah, it's just, Gerstlauer built Monster and then decided to stop trying, and then they built Hang Time. So Monster deserves to be in the A tier.
I would
Let's
agree with
see.
that.
Okay, we have A and B. I think it's gonna even out, so we're gonna just put an A. So yeah. All right. Next one we have is Thunderbolt at Luna Park.
The first time I rode this, I would put that in the F. The second time I rode it, I would probably put it in the B. So I would say Thunderbolt's probably a good, solid B plus. maybe
plus.
C minus.
High D, low C.
Ooh, let's see what people are saying. Also C for this. It looks like some people are even saying
Stand
B.
for B.
I think we're gonna stick it in for
You
C
know what?
for now.
Yeah, stick it in C because that last ride I had in it was actually really fun. The first ride I had was like the worst thing ever though. So
Was it like a row difference or just like?
I think I think the front row was way better, but then my brother said he thought it had to do with being on the outside versus in the middle.
Ooh.
I'm
Oh,
not exactly, so I'm not really sure exactly what it is.
interesting.
Next coaster we have is Thunderhead at Dollywood. Yes.
Thunderhead. I'm really not a big fan of Thunderhead. I would stick this in C, but I'll let the chat.
All right, chat. Thunderhead. We already have an A, B. I'm guessing this is gonna be like a probably B. Is
I think
gonna be
B's
my
okay.
guess.
Just that when I first wrote it, it was so good, and then the last few times I've written it, I was just kind of like not all that impressed. So
Yeah, like the chat. It's
you can
like
put it in B. That's
we
fair.
have a few A's. You said C.
Like a high B.
Most chat is saying B. We're gonna do that. All right. And the last coaster we have is Verbolten at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg.
Verbolten. That's a who? Okay.
Weird
That's such
one.
a tough one to rank.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. I'm thinking B or C off the bat. So
All right, chat. Verbolten, what are we thinking? C, B, A, or B? Wow. C, B. Ooh, it is. I think. All right. Nah, I think we're gonna put it in B. So, just looking at the
Understandable.
chat.
yeah, you know,
Yeah.
for what it is, it's good at what it is. You know, it's kind of meant to be a family coaster, so I think that's fair.
Yeah. So with that being said, this is our tier list. Just going through them in D tier, we have Carolina Cyclone and Texas Tornado. In C, we have Thunderbolt, Green Lantern. Shoot, why am I forgetting what this one was? Oh, Lightning Racer,
Racer.
Wicked Twister, and Beast. And in B, we have Verbolten, Great Bear, the original Colossus at Magic Mountain, Arrow Shuttle Loops, Valraven, Thunderhead, and Hang Time. That's definitely a weird bunch to have all in one tier. It's not as bad as it's not as probably crazy as the on the hunt tier list. That one was a little bit
Ooh.
crazy. A was Monster, Magnum, Stormrunner, Boulder Dash, and Raging Bull, and then in S we have Velocicoaster. So that is the tier list. That's how it all ranks out. And that being said, we'll move on to topics to discuss. We're actually making really good time, it looks like, so that's good. And the first one that I want to do is rides that have surprised us that we have ridden this year. Chris, I guess you can go first with this one.
Yeah, I'll defer to Jace on this one.
All right.
Okay. Surprise, surprise, I've actually written something this year. I have 4 that surprised me. First of all, Twister 2. First of all, it surprised me that it was very rough, but I actually kind of enjoyed it. Like, I think the roughness kind of made it more fun because, like what Chris said, I remember him saying the layout is pretty boring. I would say that I would agree with that. Yeah, there are definitely some boring parts of it, but it was just a really fun ride, and the tunnel was cool though. What's next? Oh, Sidewinder at Lich Gardens. I didn't really expect this ride to do much, and it turned out to deliver some pretty good forces. And then Comet at Hershey Park. That was definitely a great surprise. I can agree with both Chris and Carrick that Comet is very underrated. And then kind of Fahrenheit at Hershey Park. I don't see a lot of people rave about that ride too much. But I did hear if you ride in the back, it is better than hang time. So, and even some like GP at Hershey Park told me to ride Fahrenheit in the front. And I'm like, okay, I'll try it back in the front. But I ended up just doing only back because I know that like back row rides you're going to get a better drop, and I want a good drop. So yeah, I did back on Fahrenheit, and it was actually like it impressed me definitely. I guess that's my surprising coasters.
I'll say one thing. Probably the biggest surprise for Sidewinder, like how it rode, or that it was open.
You know, I would have to give some points to Sidewinder for it actually being open too. I was at the park. I'm like, oh, Sidewinder is not going to be open probably, but if it is, do it first. And then I came in the park. I saw around. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's open. Let's go. So we rushed to it because, like, who knows? It could have just like broken down in our sight. It could have broken down while we were in line, but no, surprisingly, it was actually open, and I was very grateful that I was able to ride that because I know it's, I guess, kind of a rare credit.
Yeah, for sure. You were very lucky there, especially like I said, like you said, with it being so spontaneous of a visit. Chris, do you have yours?
Yeah, so one of them I already mentioned, Skyrocket at Kennywood, was way better than I expected. Legend at Arnold's Park in Iowa was surprisingly smooth and kind of like a nice little lakeside wooden coaster from like the 30s. But probably the biggest one that would like really knock my socks off was the Mad Mouse at Michigan's Adventure. That thing seemed like it wasn't running with like any trims or whatsoever, and it had a few moments of ejector airtime. So I was not expecting that, and I just cut a video about Michigan's Adventure. I'll post that in maybe early next month. That one, I rave about Mad Mouse. So I don't know what it is about that one, but it's crazy.
I mean, I've only done Psycho Mouse, but the Arrow Wild Mice are my favorite. So I could see. Yeah.
Like before this, Psycho Mouse at CGA was my favorite mouse. The one at Valley Fair didn't do anything for me, even though it's also an Arrow. And then Michigan's Adventure Mad Mouse was just like, wow, that's nuts.
It's called Mad Mouse for a reason.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's pretty mad.
For me, Jace, you've ridden more coasters than me this year. That's a rarity for sure. But I did go to Disneyland this year, so Indiana Jones. I had never ridden that before this visit. It's my number one dark ride. If I had to rank all the rides I've ever ridden, or if I had to pick a ride out of like all the ones I've ridden to like ride right now, it would probably be like one of the 5 I would go for. So top 5 ride for me. And I was just surprised with like how thrilling it was. But it also had like the amazing theming and effects and the story and everything. So that ride blew me away completely. Space Mountain was another one I really liked. It just like, yeah, it was a lot longer than I remembered, and like the soundtrack and the atmosphere, and you feel like you're going a lot faster than you really are. So it was an incredible ride for me. And then one last one, I did finally get to do West Coaster this year. Mm-hmm. It's nothing too crazy, but in the back row, the first Airtime hill was actually pretty good for a ride of that scale. So that definitely surprised me. I didn't think it was going to do much, but that one Airtime moment made the ride worth it.
Kind of crazy too. The end at Helix that goes into the station, I think it's kind of nuts.
Yeah, on my visit, I didn't see that, but although I think they did put a trim on it at a certain portion of it.
Actually, I did hear that. Yeah.
Weirdly enough, I looked up footage. It looked like that they had gotten rid. I think there were like multiple trims, and I think they had gotten rid of some when I was there, but there was still like one there, but it was shorter than I saw it online. I'm like, that's weird. But yeah, no, West Coaster was definitely one of those for me, for sure. I guess we'll and I do see a few people in the chat also mention some of theirs, so I won't go through all of them, but Storm Chaser at Paulton's Park, that's a clone of Sierra Sidewinder, so I'm sure Chris, you'll agree with that.
Yeah.
I
for
second
sure.
That.
But yeah, Phoenix at Knoebels. Yeah, I'm super curious to ride that, just because I do like classic wooden coasters, so I'm curious of what I'll think of that one, for sure. Next
Buzz
topic.
are pretty great, and And
Yeah.
on Comet there were even seatbelts on it, so and I still liked it, so I can only imagine what it could be like without seatbelts.
Yeah, Comet's the only one I think I've done with buzz bars, so that's my only experience. But yeah, those restraints are legendary for sure. The next topic we have to discuss is pros and cons of where we live. This can be, and this is mostly going to be relation to like visiting parks and stuff, but we all have interesting living situations because Jace, you're in Hawaii, so you know there's that. Chris, you moved from being like less than 2 miles away from Magic Mountain, if I'm correct, to being in Oklahoma, so that's also interesting. And then me, probably the least interesting, but I'm in between like the two major California cities, so I'm not actually really close to any park, but I'm within decent driving distance. But who wants to go first here?
I can talk about Oklahoma,
Yeah.
and you know, it does suck that I can't just walk over to Magic Mountain like I used to. But in terms of going other places, I'm a heck of a lot closer. So I have a lot of places I can go to that are, you know, a weekend trip away. I can head over to Great America. I can go to Holiday World, Kings Island, Dollywood. I can go up to the Valley Fair. All these things I can drive to now, which I could never do before. So if we want to take a 3-day weekend and go up there, it's totally possible. So that's really the advantage of living here. California, you have a lot of stuff where you are, but if you want to go anywhere else, you got to take a plane because there's just so much desert between you and the next good thing out there.
Yeah. Alrighty. Jace, you want to go next?
Sure. Okay, so there's not really that much pros to living in Hawaii as a coaster enthusiast. But one pro I do know is that I am closer to Japan than any American coaster enthusiast. I don't know if I'll ever go to Japan anytime soon, which is kind of unfortunate. But I do have like it's like if I like am pretty good with if I'm like pretty good with like going around Japan and I have all of the like international stuff good to go. It's about as easy to go to Japan as it is to California. The only thing is that you're going back in time instead of forward in time. So
Ooh,
that's
yeah.
really interesting. But yeah, and then the cons, well, you basically have to fly like at least like 6 hours to get to the nearest theme park or the nearest permanent coaster. And or you can wait for your local fair, or you can travel to Oahu for the state fair. Yeah, that's about it in terms of coasters.
Yeah.
Definitely cons.
That is, I mean, yeah, if you ever, I mean, that is good though. Like, I guess anywhere in the US, that is the best place to live in if you want to go to Japan. So if you ever get that going, although I guess you are, well, yeah, we'll see, but what happens. But like, yeah, no, I could see that. But yeah, it's got to be pretty tough out there for sure. And then for me, I live in Fresno, which is in between the two, so I'm not really close to anything, but at the same time, I can go either Northern or Southern California on a weekend trip, and it's not that big of a deal, so that's a plus. But as Chris said, if I want to get anywhere outside of California, I have to fly, and that's even more of a struggle for me because Fresno has a really tiny airport that is pretty expensive. So on top of that, I have to either drive to San Francisco or LA to get like cheaper flights and more direct ones. So that's pretty tough. But oh, and I guess the other thing, I can visit parks any time of year because I know that's an issue in certain states where you guys have seasons. We don't. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm experiencing the seasons for the first time. It's fun.
Ooh.
It's snowy and then it's humid. So
Oof.
there you go. That's it.
Yeah. But like, yeah, that is like got to be quite the difference just going from Los Angeles, well, not quite Los Angeles, close to Oklahoma. So yeah, quite the adjustment there.
Yeah, I've been here for almost a full year, so I've kind of gotten the full gauntlet of what it has to offer at this point.
Nice. The next thing we'll move on to is actually something for Chris. You did your Magic Mountain 5-part documentary this year. You've done like a few documentary style things like with the Worlds of Adventure, I guess Jaga Lake. But this was like your biggest project yet, at least as a documentary, and I imagine probably just for the channel in general. So my question was for that was like how were you able to make this series, and how was it different like doing it than some of the other videos you
So
made?
the other videos, like I could probably throw together the research in a day, maybe 2 days for a lot of these mini documentaries that I've done. It doesn't take very long to make a 15-minute video, but these videos were all together like about 2 hours. Like if you did it from front to back, they're all about 20 minutes long. So there's 5 of them. So yeah, it was probably close to 2 hours if you put them all together. I did all my research through primary sources mainly, so old newspaper articles.
Wow.
Especially, it was because a lot of the stuff is easy to find articles on from the internet. Like Worlds of Adventure, the whole thing collapsed during the age of the internet and roller coaster websites and stuff like that. But when Magic Mountain started back in the late 60s, early 70s, there was nothing like that. So I had to go through probably 1,000 or 1,500 articles a year for every year, and there was 50 years, so it was well over 50,000 articles, newspaper articles I had to go through. Each video probably took 2.5 weeks to make.
Oh my god.
Wow.
To research, to write, to find clips for, that was extremely difficult to find clips for them, especially for the early days. That's why a lot of it was stills. I relied on like the Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park for some footage from the 70s, like just stuff like that. Or the movie Roller Coaster also helped out. And unfortunately for me, that series did really poorly on my channel. I was gonna like, I feel like I can do this all the time because I'm a historian and that stuff's kind of fun. But yeah, it wasn't even like, it underperformed. Like, no, it actually did bad compared to my other videos. So I still might do Kings Island next year because they're doing their 50th anniversary.
That'd be cool.
But man, for the amount of work that it took to put that together and the amount of support that I got on YouTube, I mean, it got positive reviews and everything, but just the view counts just weren't there. And it was just hard to justify pouring my life into it again for, I can make another, ranking video that I'll do twice as well. It takes me like 1/10 of the time to do. So I don't know, just things to consider.
I'd say that's one of the worst things about being a YouTuber.
Yeah.
No, in general, I've told people in the past, the harder you work on something, the better it'll do. And that's always been true until this documentary came out. So at least for me, it's been true. So it was a lot. It was a ton of work, but I don't know, maybe I'll get the urge to do it again next year for Kings Island, and maybe I'll just do it.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who watched all 5 of them and thoroughly enjoyed it, like that was honestly like some of the best, I would say, coaster content like on YouTube, like just in general, having that 5-part documentary. So
I watched all 5 parts too. It was great.
I appreciate that. Yeah, what was encouraging was all the positive feedback I got from it. Even some people that used to work there were, commenting and everything. So like that was nice, and that made, and also the Magic Mountain was, it was my home park for so long, and I worked there, and I've known so much about it that it was kind of like I wanted to learn more about it. So I guess for other parks, we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, but that is unfortunate. I also I can agree with you with like the whole YouTube thing. Like I started doing like the reaction like live streams to like the announcements, and it's like I just do it like on a whim, and I'm like, I don't think these will do very well. And then my most viewed stream is a Fiesta Texas reaction stream, more than any of these, which I put a lot more time into. So it's like, dang. But no, I understand. Like, yeah, but I mean, the people who watch really enjoy this, and I know for that project, you did like pretty much everyone who watched it really enjoyed it. So but that is definitely a very difficult thing for sure.
My most recent vlog I've done it was honestly one of my favorite videos I've ever made. And I get it, it's still new, but yeah, the view count I wasn't impressed by.
Yeah. I tried to help you out there too.
I know, I appreciate that, but it's just all up to the viewers, I guess, whether they want to watch or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you're right. The clickbait titles is really what helps out a lot. Like
Unfortunately.
Ryan, when you see problematic coasters, grabs people's attention, or Coaster College with his "What really happened," this accident, grabs people's attention, that. And I thought that just having the history of something would be good, because like theme park expedition theme park has stuff like that, and they do great. So I didn't think there was anything wrong with it in terms of just the presentation. But I do try to clickbait to an honest level. Like I'll never try to be misleading with the clickbait, because then you just lose your credibility. But you always got to try to draw people in as best as you can without going overboard.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm working on a video series again, so the Under the Radar coasters. We'll see how that goes. I'm very curious. Just saw, thank you, Sotbug, for the $5 donation. I appreciate that. And yeah, the YouTube thing, it's real. So that's all I gotta say. Yeah, your thumbnails, Chris. You've done I think you've done a pretty good job with those. I think, like, even my my mom, I think we have YouTube, and I've watched a few coasters on the TV. Like, I think there's been some times where she's seen a thumbnail and she's like, "Oh, I want to see that," even though she's
I
not
think
into
title
coasters.
is number one. Title
Yeah.
is number one, but I think thumbnail is number two. So I'm very, very deliberate about my thumbnails. Like, I spend sometimes half an hour or more trying to crop everything just right to get it, and I'll throw emojis on there because everyone loves emojis, right?
Yeah, that's kind of why. Yeah. But no, that's cool. That's cool to hear about, for sure.
Don't listen to the Reddit haters.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, Reddit is like, I've never seen myself get grilled on there. I'm sure there's like something somewhere, but like some people, it's like, wow, they really go after them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I like, for me, it's like, if you don't like something, then you just don't watch it. But a lot of people seem to watch it
know.
and then want to complain about it. So that's just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird like that.
Oh, well, you
Yeah.
still get your views, though.
Yeah, you get your views though.
That's why I told people on the end of that video, I was like, well, thanks for watching anyway. You're helping my channel, even if you hate it.
Yeah, I always find that like really funny. It's like, if you don't like it, yeah, just don't watch it then. That solves it. So yeah, that's interesting for sure. For you, Jace, I mean, we've talked about it a little bit, but how did it finally feel to ride a roller coaster after not riding one for 649 days? I believe that's the correct amount. Yes.
Yes, that is actually
Yay.
correct. So, oh boy. Yeah, and so my first coaster I've ridden for 649 days was Sidewinder at a Lich Gardens. I thought I wanted to make that it because I thought it was very fitting because it's like a rare credit. I guess like whenever like there's multiple times where I've been in like coaster droughts, and whenever I ride a coaster again, the forces like feel much more dynamic. Like the same thing happened. I didn't ride a coaster in like a pretty long time, and then I rode Revenge of the Mummy, and that ride was like, oh my gosh, like I noticed like every little thing at the airtime was like actually pretty good. The forces were pretty good. And I guess the same thing sort of applied to Sidewinder, where like it just felt much more dynamic than like normal. And yeah, I'd say like, and it was super thrilling, definitely. When I got off, it was just like it was very satisfying, that more than anything. Just like finally riding a coaster as a coaster enthusiast that I haven't ridden in like so long. So yeah, I guess that's for the first time experience in 649 days.
Yeah, I agree with you with the whole, if you haven't ridden a coaster in so long, you just like you notice everything more. That might be, so that might have me a little biased towards like Space Mountain and even West Coaster. To be fair though, Big Thunder was the first coaster I rode, and that thing, it was good, don't get me wrong, but it didn't impress me as much as I thought it might have. So I mean, it is a mine train though, so, but I definitely agree with you there. Like, if you haven't ridden something for a while, it's just like when you get back into it, it's like, whoa, this has this and that, even though it might not be like a crazy coaster like Steel Vengeance or something. So yeah, so I agree with that for sure.
Dang, Stanford, you went on a 45 state road trip. It's nuts,
Oh my
man.
god. Wow.
Good gosh.
Wow. 39 parks, 45 states.
That's
So
the
you had
dream.
just drove through some just because.
If I can get
Oh,
that much
25.
time,
Okay, it was 25.
if I can get that much time off of work, man, or if I didn't have a full-time job, I would do that. I'd totally do that.
It was yeah,
I did
it was
30 parks
25 states.
I did 30 parks in 2.5 weeks, but it just shows you how long I was at them. A lot of parks I popped in, popped out.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he said. I just said, but yeah, he meant to say 25 states, which I'm like, yeah, 45. Like that would only leave like 3 out that aren't like that
Yeah,
are actually
in the
like
continental
you can
United
go
States.
to, like, because Alaska and Hawaii you can't just drive to. So
Yeah. Plus,
actually,
is
wait,
there a point to go
Alaska
there
you
in the
might
coaster
wait.
trip?
Alaska, can you drive through somehow, some
Yeah,
weird way?
I think you can get there through Canada. I don't.
It's definitely going to be a long
I
drive.
don't think
though.
it'd be recommended, but you could. But yeah, let's see, and then, but I guess after these, so I guess we kind of wrapped up the topics to discuss, and so we'll go into our next thing, which will actually be a second quiz, which will be more on the for related to these. It's like basically trivia related to the stream. So I'm gonna put that in the pinned comment because I don't have it in there yet. So and that should become the new pinned comment. But join that, and then we'll also be doing our second Q&A session, which will be, this one will probably be a little shorter, just so we can get people on. And the last one toward the end will be kind of like where probably most of the questions are answered, because we're doing pretty good time-wise, actually. So this worked out pretty well, yeah. So that'll be that, and we'll see what questions come up.
History and
So-
Leisure also had a pretty long coaster drought.
Oh, really? How long
December
was it?
27th, 2019 to June 1st, 2021.
Yeah, that's like that. That's like pretty much what, just a little shorter than what mine was. So yeah, pretty crazy. Oh, have I not? Okay, yes. No, I have launched the waiting screen. Okay. I was like, did I not do that? I'm like, that would not have been good, but I did.
Sorry, I was looking at the chat. One doesn't simply drive to Hawaii.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh man.
I'm kind of excited for this trivia, honestly.
Yeah, basically it's gonna have a few things that like a few like questions about like what certain guests said, and there's gonna be a few about me, so it's a good mishmash. I think mostly guest related though, because the guests are really what make these streams at this point. So yeah, yeah, so 8 people already in. Any questions come in? Like I said, I mentioned, if anyone has any questions they want to ask, you can ask them now. If not, we already have 10 people in, so I might start relatively soon here. So I might actually just do that. That probably works out better anyways, just so we can have like one big, I guess, kind of Q&A end session. So yeah. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna start it now. We have 10 people already. So I'm gonna put that up, and we're gonna start right away. Chris, I don't know how well you're gonna do, because I know you're pretty limited on time. So, Well, if you're
I've seen some, and then
Yeah.
if I'm home on a Saturday and you
Oh,
guys are doing it, then I try to jump on for as long as I can. But when you guys do it during the week, I can't. So that's how
yeah,
it is.
I accidentally shared the wrong screen. So that's great. That's the first time that's ever happened, I think. I showed the comments when I have. But anyways, I think I have the right one now. Here we go. So yeah, here is the quiz. You can still join if you haven't already. And then after this, we'll do one final Q&A session. So we're going to start in, that was anticlimactic. 3, 2, 1, go. First question. Which of these guests has been stung by a bee? Yes, I had to include this in here. It's just such a legendary question.
First question, and this trivia is already legendary. I actually have no idea.
Well, the correct answer is Sean Flaherty. He got stung by a bee on Goliath at Over Georgia and leaped the dips at Lakemont. He mentioned that in the stream he was in. Second question, which Coaster Time episode was longest? I'll give a hint. It's not even close. Like, this one is, like, far and away, like, the longest.
I think it was probably the one with Jace. I don't know.
I talk long. I know.
Correct answer is Coaster Time 15, NFL Draft Night.
Should have known.
4 hours, 44 minutes.
Wow.
I don't think I'll be doing that again, but hey. And then this one's about me. I mentioned this in multiple streams. What is my favorite NFL team?
I do like how you put all the sad teams on there, not throw anyone off.
Yeah, exactly.
I know you like some sad team, but like, which one is it? It's one of these four.
That's exactly why I went with those. Correct answer is the Atlanta Falcons. Wow, a lot of you guys thought I was a Chargers fan. Chargers fans don't exist. Remember
California?
that.
Yeah. There's no such thing as a Charger fan, at least not in LA.
I'm not a football fan, so I'm just like, local?
Next question, what is my name? Actually, I don't know if
Definitely
it's mentioned on
Callum.
stream. I went with, like, I just looked up a list of weird, like, random names. So, outside of Christian, of course. But
Callum from Coaster Hour.
And correct answer is Carrick. So, yeah.
Oh, shoot. Did I actually trick someone?
Well, no, because we're on
Keelan's a
enough of a
girl
delay
name.
where that wouldn't have happened,
Okay.
I don't think. Next question is, which of these guests came on to Coaster Time live from a park? The picture is actually a hint, so just say.
I remember the stream. Oh my gosh.
So which one of
Yes.
these people are an alligator?
There's an alligator here.
Correct answer is Itai from Theme Park HQ. Came live from BGT in episode 9, which honestly that was kind of cool, like seeing some of the rides there. So yeah. Next question, which of these
God.
guests said they got sick from riding pirate ship rides? This was this was an answer to one of the other recurring questions of have you gotten sick on a coaster.
I know
Correct.
who it's not.
Correct answer is Canopy Coaster.
I said it
Mike
was
from
Jace.
Canopy Coaster, which is crazy because he's ridden a lot of like the craziest flat rides ever, but pirate ships apparently do it for him, which is pretty funny.
Aw.
In which episode did a cat appear in? We had a dog appear in this one now, so that's that's cool. I think that's a milestone.
I know the stream. I'm not gonna say, but I know.
Yeah, I figured. Some of these might be a little unfair, but oh well. Yeah, correct answer is Coaster Time 6 with 808 Coaster Life and Phantom Coasters. Connor's cat appeared in the stream. So, yeah,
It was very
a pretty
entertaining.
epic moment. Next question. What is my favorite animated movie? I have mentioned this so many times during my streams, so hopefully...
9.
What the hell is 9?
It's well, all right. I'll mention after the answer. 9 is like this PG-13 animated movie that came out in 2009. It's kind of obscure, so I put it on here just to throw people off. No one picked it. Ratatouille is my favorite film. I did say I did like Toy Story 3, so that might have thrown people off, but Ratatouille was my favorite. I never have said I like cloudy though. I actually don't. So, next question. Which of these guests won the quiz during the episode they were on?
I don't
It
even
actually
remember.
hasn't happened very often,
Did
believe
I?
it or
I
not.
don't
Only
remember, did I?
twice, I think. I looked back through all of them.
It wasn't me.
Correct answer was theme park hunting. He got the first quiz right during Coaster Time 20. Canopy Coaster actually also won his as well. And the last question is, who was my first international guest on Coaster Time?
Coaster Daddy.
It's I've only ever had one. And one of them I haven't even ever had. So if you pick him, I don't know what to tell you. But the correct answer is Coaster Chaw. He was my first ever international guest. I haven't had Coaster Bot yet, but I would like to if that could be done. That'd be really cool. But yeah,
Great
so that's
trivia.
gonna be the quiz. The Quacken got first, 56 points. Congratulations on getting first. Mr. Color Roaster got second, 44 points. And then Central Florida Coasters got third with 43 points.
Chris actually beat me.
I was
Hey.
using RCDB, but it didn't really help me on this one.
But that's gonna do it for this quiz. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Something a little different. Thought it was good to do for the 1 year anniversary. And it was fun seeing you guys like try to guess. So yeah. Thank you to everyone who participated. And with that being said, that's gonna bring us to the end of the stream. So final Q&A. But before we get to that, wait, what happened? What came in?
I'm looking at the chat.
Oh, stop. I didn't even notice that name. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so basically, like I said, for earlier, I have made a new Coaster Time poll. I have the link in the description, and that'll help me try to figure out who I want as a guest. And this time I have it where you actually write down the name. That just probably helps. So if you are able to do that, make sure to, whether that's after the stream or if you're watching a replay, you can do that whenever is a good time for you. So that'd be very much appreciated. And also, once again, thanks to the Airtime Thrills Discord for getting the announcement out for this. Make sure to check them out. And also check out all the links I have for Chris and Jace as well. Follow them on Instagram and yeah, the Discord for Chris as well. So yeah. Any last things you guys want to say before we head into this final Q&A?
Congrats on a full year of doing Coaster Time. It's pretty awesome.
Yes.
Thank you
Pulling in
guys.
some awesome guests.
Yeah, I'm super happy about like where this is went. Like I did not think I would have as many guests, like even in general, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to do this for or how long I was gonna be doing this, but it's been really awesome up to this point. And I look forward to continuing this for a good while. So the only thing I will say though is that they will not be like every 2 weeks like they have been for a few weeks, I'll just say, because I have college, so that'll play an effect. Community college. It actually isn't too bad. And what the other thing is, I'm going to try to work out with guests like a good time, so that also could play into how often these things go. But I'm looking forward to doing this still. Let's see. Yeah. Another recurring question. I don't want to go too long on this, but is Lil Phantom the best coaster in the world? I mean, Chris, you missed out on it, unfortunately, on your last visit.
Yeah, if it reopened, I would have gone on it. But we left because there was a storm that ran through, and then it looked like the storm was going to be there for hours. So we just were like, nah, we'll try our luck at another park. So it looked like the best coaster in the world. I can tell you that, but didn't get to ride it.
I have the clone in Fresno that keeps taunting me. I wanted to ride it this summer, but the park never opened. So that is unfortunate. But I'm sure it's one of the best out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Little Phantom over Phantom's Revenge. I
agree.
I second that, Mr. Cola Roaster.
It's higher on my bucket list for sure. What's next question we got here? Let's see. Ooh, Frontier City question. Is it the norm for there to be flies
Flies
surrounding
in
like the
the food places? No,
Yeah.
like I go to the Saddle Rock Cafe a lot at Frontier City. It's one right in front of the park next to the funnel cakes. It's always been fine for me. I mean, it's normal for most of the places to be closed, but as for flies, no, I haven't really noticed.
Dang, that I would hope not because that would be so annoying. So
Yeah,
that's good. That's
there's more
not
flies in my
normal.
house than there are at Frontier City. In my experience. They're everywhere.
Yeah, they are pretty pesky for sure. Have you seen a tornado?
No, I have not seen a tornado.
Thank God.
One time in April, we did have the tornado siren go off. There was some rotation a little bit to the south of us. It broke up pretty quick, but we do have a shelter underneath the garage that we installed, and we did have to use it that one time. So I've been here for almost a year. One time the siren went off, but never actually seen anything.
Well, that's really good because I mean that would be pretty scary otherwise. So, and I've never seen a tornado, Jace. I don't imagine you've seen a tornado.
Besides the occasional like little dust storm.
Oh
no.
yeah, yeah, the little dust
I had
tornadoes.
I had a tornado warning when I left Carowinds a couple of years ago.
Oh wow.
So that's the only other time where I actually got like the cell phone alert saying, tornado warning, take shelter.
Oh boy.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's man. I cannot imagine living somewhere where it's like that. I mean, that's just so foreign to me that would be a threat. But I mean,
Yeah, but it's funny thing. Like people think that way when they don't live here, but the people who actually do live here, they don't really worry about it that much. It's not really a thing. It's kind of like you don't worry about earthquakes in California that much, but it's a threat. But it's not like it doesn't dominate your life or anything. It's just it might happen, might not.
yeah. Someone said they thought I was in high school. To be fair, you're not wrong. Sort of. I was in high school when last year was my senior year. So for most of the time that Coaster Time's been around, yeah, I've been in high school. So no, that's still right. Just now I'm going to community college. Oh, what do you want to be your 600th?
600. I'm at 528 right now.
Oh,
There's a lot of
ways
coasters.
off.
There's still a lot of coasters I haven't ridden in America. I actually took some time and I actually kind of looked at where they were. There's a lot in the Northeast that I haven't been to yet, like Canopy Lake Park and Funtown Splashtown and other stuff like that up there, Storyland. But yeah, eventually I'll get over to Europe or Australia. Probably those are the first two international places I'll get to. And
DC rivals.
It's so hard to say what do you want it to be, because it's like, oh, it'd be cool to have DC rivals, or it'd be cool to have Karnan or something. But these things just kind of happen, like wherever you are at the time. I was at Great Escape when I hit 500, so it's like that's not the greatest place to be, but it is what it is. So I picked the best coaster that was there, and it was Comet.
Yeah, that for me, I'm at 95, so getting very close to the 100th. I actually am playing. Hopefully, I do consider the two sides of Matterhorn to be separate credits. I don't normally do that for coasters, but they apparently have different layouts.
That's fair enough. I don't, but that's fair enough.
And I've only done one side, so I'm hoping to do both my next visit.
Okay.
It'll probably happen. So I'll get to 96. I have no clue when I'm gonna make my 100. Problem is, I might go to Florida next year, but the first parks I'd probably be doing would probably be Fun Spot parks. So it's like, is White Lightning gonna be like my 100? I don't know what to do. Wait.
As long as the coaster's not like a kiddie coaster or something, then I don't care. Like as long as it's like a legit coaster that maybe has a little bit of history behind it, like not a Boomerang clone or something, then I'll be happy with it.
CoasterBot's 100th coaster was the SLC at Heidi Park.
Oh God! But you're not going to pass up any credits. You gotta just take what you get. And you can manipulate it. Like at Great Escape, I rode one coaster before I rode Comet because I wanted Comet to be it and not the stupid mine train. So yeah.
Another thing that might change it is if I'm able to do the 2 credit Fantasy Island credits coming here to California. That might help.
Yeah.
Because I might at that point then maybe West Coast Racers or the new that probably wouldn't be my 100th, but I mean it's not great, but at least it's something. Oh well. Let's see. Uh, Soutbug. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. You're a legend. Thank you again for another donation. And what's the next question? Which is better, Roadrunner Express at Fiesta or Skull Mountain at Great Adventure?
Roadrunner. Skull Mountain's kind of disappointing. It has a little bit of a cult following, but it's nothing special. Roadrunner actually is kind of a interesting, fun mine train that plays with the wall a little bit, and it's faster than your normal mine train. So I'd go with Roadrunner.
Got to be careful if that's Skull Mountain fandom.
Right.
Yeah. So I haven't ridden either, so I can't really say. Let's see. I think you already kind of went over Jersey Devil Coaster, but if you have anything additional to say about it.
Jersey Devil. It basically was just so forceless. Like the other Raptors, they try to rip your head off. This was like a very gentle B&M looper. I don't know. It just didn't do anything for me. Didn't have any airtime. The inversions were whatever. I just didn't really enjoy it like at all. I don't know what to say. Apparently, it warms up later on and it's great, but it's like, okay, well, I couldn't stay that long, so took what I could get, and it wasn't very good.
Well, Magic Mountain will probably give you another opportunity.
Right. I know.
And it'll probably at least run better there because it's probably more consistently it's more consistently warm there. So
true. Yeah.
Hopefully it's all right.
Yeah.
What do we think of Copperhead Strike? I have not ridden it. It looks interesting for sure, but you've ridden it, Chris.
Here's a ride where I got on it when it was cold and rainy and empty the first time, and it was kind of like, okay, that wasn't that good. I rode it again this past month, and it was hot and it was crowded, and it was a lot better. It's not quite as good as Maverick, but it's got some crazy forces, and so I did have to bump that up on my list a little bit after those rides.
Yeah, It's an interesting looking ride for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like Manta, which is a family mock, but if it's a better version of that, I'll enjoy it.
It's got some like really, really good ejector moments and very good hang time moments, and the launches are whatever. They're not much, but it's a long ride. It's got like different kind of elements in there. It's a very complete ride.
I'm looking forward to doing it whenever I get the opportunity.
Yeah.
How has your YouTube channel affected your daily life? I guess if either of you want to answer this.
It's for Chris, so.
Yeah, I know it's for Chris, but yeah, Chris can answer first.
So basically, it just pretty much consumes all my free time. So I don't watch Netflix, I don't watch Apple TV, I don't watch that stuff. It's just basically if I'm not working or if I'm not spending time with the family, like my free time is all on YouTube. So it's fine with me. It's have you ever considered leaving or changing the way you go about your job? No. YouTube's way too finicky. Like actually, YouTube can be pretty consistent in terms of how much money you can expect each month. But you never know when that's just going to fall off a cliff. And it could happen at any time. Like there was a time earlier this year when I thought it might be going downhill, but then it rebounded. So you just never know. And when you have a house and you have kids that need stuff from school and you have bills to pay, you can't rely on YouTube full time. You gotta have another job. So I'm perfectly fine going about with what I have until either I got kicked off for whatever reason or people stop watching. So I'll just keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't think I could ever do this. Like YouTube as a career, like just because it seems like it can be so inconsistent with videos, and on top of that, there's like getting permission for the footage and everything takes a long time usually. So I could never see that being like a career. So
no, if I was in college and this was my side gig, just to get some extra money, then yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I wish I had this when I was in high school and college. But but in terms of when you actually have responsibilities and bills, it's hard to rely on it because like I said, the money is actually pretty consistent. But you just never know. It could just be gone just like that. So
yeah. I mean, I've never had any issues up to this point, so I hope it stays that way.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Canada coaster fans definitely like kind of the
It's a warning. Yeah.
reminder there for sure. Let's see. Will you ever do a list of favorite parks for food?
Well, I've said this before. I get sick very easily, especially at parks. Like if I drink too much water, I get sick. If I eat one extra bite of something that I shouldn't have, I get sick. So I try not to eat at parks, and when I do, it's usually like the smallest thing I can find. So like I do not go around and like sample all the food at different parks. So I honestly could not tell you like which park has the best food.
Yeah. Someone was asking this. I see you. Someone was asking about how are the Eagles doing? Do you have any confidence in them right now?
No, I saw they lost like 35-0 against the
It's
Patriots.
preseason. It's
I
an
think.
evaluation, really, so it doesn't mean anything.
It
but-
doesn't mean anything, but it's still not a good sign.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't really view preseason games as anything. Like I think the Cleveland Browns, the year they went 0-16, they were like 4-0 in the preseason.
Yeah, it doesn't
So,
mean anything, but I don't have a lot of faith in the Eagles this year. They were
yeah.
god awful last year, and they might be a little bit better this year. But you know what? Maybe with 5 wins, they can win the NFC East. That might be good enough.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true.
But my predictions, I've been spot on all my predictions this last couple of years with baseball and football. So this year I'm going Buffalo. They're going to win the Super Bowl. Calling it now.
Buffalo? Interesting. I could see that for sure. Someone was saying about the I don't really care. Like I said, I don't care for the scores. Yeah, I'm sure the Dolphins will beat the Falcons tonight. I don't have much faith in. I'm hoping that the offense can at least be good, but now looking back at it, passing on Justin Fields and trading Julio, I'm not happy about that. So I think we should have drafted a quarterback if we were going to get rid of Julio. So that's my thoughts there. Do you think you'd prefer the Smiler or Nemesis? All of us can answer this. Jace, actually, you go.
I'd say for now Nemesis, but I could very well be wrong. Just like I hear it's the more consistent ride in terms of like people's opinions.
That's such a tough one. Smaller doesn't seem all that impressive to me just by looking at it, but like people who've ridden it love it. So that could be it, but Nemesis is more intriguing to me just because of its setting.
I don't know which one I'm going to prefer. I think if I had to choose one to ride, I'd pick the Smiler because it's very different from anything I've ridden, where, I mean, I've done like, I think 5 B&M inverts up to this point, 4 or 5 of them. So I kind of know what to expect, but Smiler is just so different. So I don't know if I'd prefer it though. So I can't really say that. Let's see. Will you go to Europe next year? Are you planning to?
Maybe, I don't know. Life circumstances may prevent that from happening. I was supposed to go this year, but the COVID screwed that up. And just who knows? Like, I want to go to Australia soon, but God, they're so strict with their lockdowns, and you never know what's going to happen. Like, it's so unpredictable at this point. What everything's going to look like next summer. So, I'm not really making any plans, but maybe, I don't know. I'd like to, because I'm really, this trip this year was to kind of finish all the big credits in America. I was supposed to do that last year. So from here, I don't really have a lot of other places to go in America. So I do have to branch out at some point.
Yeah. The timing of it for you though is not good, like just good right now.
No, this had to happen. Yeah, right when I'm planning on traveling the world for the first time. Then global pandemic, of course. Now of all times.
Actually, I guess what have you been? I mean, you've been to Canada. Have you been to any other countries outside of that? Not necessarily for coasters, but just for any reason.
I've never been to any other country except for Canada.
And then
Same.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Jace, you have been to Canada?
Yeah, it was a Whistler trip.
Oh, nice. Okay, I've only done Mexico, so that's all I can say. But yeah,
I've
been
seen
to
Mexico
a lot.
from across the border, but I've never actually crossed it.
Yeah, I've never been in Tijuana or seen it, but that's interesting. Let's see. Smoothest wooden coaster we have ridden. For
That's
me,
interesting.
oh man, because I would say Gold Striker if it had been opening year one, but now no, but that now no. That is, I mean, smoothest. I don't know if there's I mean, I guess like Ghost Rider because I can't think of any wooden coasters that are like perfectly smooth, but that one's pretty good. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that because it's a wooden coaster, so
It's got to have at least a little bit of
it's got to have
rattliness.
some. If it doesn't even have anything, then
Right.
what's even the
Ghost
point?
Rider has the perfect amount of roughness because it's
Yeah.
not painful, but it does remind you that it's a wooden coaster.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
So the two that come to mind for me are the one I just rode. I already mentioned it. Legend at Arnold's Park was just insanely glossy smooth, and that thing's like 100 years old. And then the other one is Mystic Timbers, Kings Island. I rode that in its second year and then in its like fourth year, and both times it was just crazy smooth. So hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah.
Or sorry,
I
you
just.
can go.
Oh wait, no, you can go actually.
For me, it's hard to decide for either Ghost Rider or Comet at Hershey Park. Comet is like surprisingly smooth, but I'd say like in the last part of the layout where it, like jets out away from Skyrush or from Skyrush's lift hill, it got a little bit rougher. Of course, not too tolerable at all. So I'd say Ghost Rider for being consistent, but Comet definitely surprised me though.
I also want to answer the question that Stanford Bridge posed about Dr. Pepper milkshakes.
Oh,
at
did I?
Whataburger.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah.
And yes, absolutely. I love Dr. Pepper, so I had to try it, and it's great. And the only if you what you can do is get the big one and then drink some of it, but then put it in the freezer and then eat it like ice cream later. It's awesome.
Yeah. I've never been to Whataburger, funny enough. Like because I guess we don't really have them here in California, no. So
No, and Whataburger is kind of like the in and out of the Midwest, but it's not that. I mean, the burgers aren't that good. The milkshakes are, but the burgers are just kind of like whatever.
interesting. I'll have to try the milkshakes whenever I get the opportunity. But yeah, I saw someone said I'm looking dead. I've had a busy week this week, so I will say that. Yeah, I will say that. But no, I'm always happy to do this. Let's see. There's a lot of things. I'm not seeing a lot of questions though. I'm trying to think. If anyone sees, if you guys see one, then like you can tell me. But
I see a lot of Dodgers hate here from old Cooper Brown.
Dodger
So
slander.
the Braves are hot right now, but the Dodgers are also hot right now. They look stupid right now wearing their City Connect uniforms, which are like all blue. I'm actually watching them right now, playing the Mets. But yeah, the Braves are hot. They're kind of scary, but the Dodgers are getting healthy, so watch out. Repeat champs.
I'm not into baseball, but yeah, I mean, it's interesting just because I know a lot of people who watch it more and talk about it. So yeah. What is the worst coaster you've ever ridden, Chris?
Still
Or I
Green
guess-
Lantern.
Yeah,
but
I guess that's obvious.
But I've ridden some really, really bad ones recently. Like just
Oh God.
like other ones that come to mind are like the toboggan at Little America, Harley Quinn at Discovery Kingdom, which is gone now, and then you know what, Time Warp at Canada's Wonderland was just terrible, but the one at Luna Park had different different cars, and it was actually pretty fun. So the one at Canada's Wonderland has the things right next to your head, so you're just slamming. But the one at Luna Park doesn't have that, and it was actually enjoyable. So I don't know.
I think me and Carrick have the same worst coaster. I don't know.
Yeah, we
Ooh,
do.
hold on. Is it at Hershey Park?
No,
It is not at Hershey Park.
I don't know then. Viper?
No.
Coast Rider.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm well known for Coast Rider being
Not
my
only
least
is Coast
favorite.
Rider like with the shins and everything, it just runs so slow. Like they trimmed the hell out of that thing.
Yeah, it's just not good. I never rode it without the shin guard, so I can't even say that. But yeah, it's not even a good wild mouse in general. On top
Besides
of
the
having the
station,
restraints.
the drop is I think is the best part of the ride because that's before because one ride I tried to get a little room on it so that the shin guards won't bother me too much. But then I made the mistake of lifting my hands up on the drop, and right when it started curling out from the drop, it clicked, and I was like, "Ow!" Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah.
If you get room on Coast Rider, if you manage to get room, don't put your hands up. For the sake of your legs.
Yeah,
That's legit.
Yeah, that sounds pretty brutal, but Ghost Rider is brutal, so yeah. Did we hear Shanghai Disneyland might be getting a new multi-launch coaster with a switch track? That would be
No, we
news to me.
Me too.
Unless that is something that maybe it's like out during the stream, that'd be interesting. I have not heard a thing about it, so but I'll have to look into that a little bit. That's interesting for sure. They could use more unique rides, although they do already have the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. They do actually have a few, but now with Tron especially, they probably need a new coaster for sure. Yeah, the Shanghai Disney news is today. That's probably why. That's probably why I had no clue about it. Let's see. Any other questions? It's getting, yeah, okay. I think we'll probably end it pretty quickly here.
I saw people discussing their credit counts. Speaking of that, my new credit count is 37.
37 credits. Chris, you have 528, you said?
Yeah.
And then I have 95. Even combined, we're not even anywhere close to Chris, so yeah.
Well, if you combine your ages, you're probably close to me. So there you go. That helps.
Okay,
that helps
I
too.
guess.
Yeah.
I've ridden a lot of defunct coasters over the years, so
Yeah, I've had a
good.
few. I have Colossus and Minor Mike at Adventure Dome.
I don't even have that one.
Yeah, that one is that was my first out of state coaster, and now it's gone. So it's sad.
If you count a kiddie coaster getting discontinued from the fair rotation, then yes, I've ridden a defunct coaster.
Which one would that be?
It's called Dragor. It's like this Zamperla like dragon coaster that it like goes into a helix and goes back to the station and repeats. It's a powered coaster.
Okay. Yeah, that I guess yeah. There's oh yeah, Roar at Discovery Kingdom. That's another one. Yeah, did that one too.
Yeah.
Chris, did you do that one or no?
Yep. No, I did
Okay,
that one
good.
in 2001. Yeah. It's the one and only time I rode it.
I actually liked it, so I was kind of like, well,
It's okay.
all right.
The one at Six Flags America is terrible.
I've heard, yeah.
But when I
I
rode
remember,
Roar at Marine World at the time, it was okay. It was pretty new at the time. It's probably only a few years old, so it was okay.
I remember all the way back when like it was announced, people were like they RMC'd the wrong roar. They RMC'd the wrong one.
Right, exactly. So one
That's
question:
so
what's the most
funny.
unique attraction at Frontier City?
Ooh.
There aren't really a whole lot of unique attractions at Frontier City. I think I've seen everything they have to offer at this point. Honestly, it's probably Diamondback, the Arrow Shuttle Loop. They don't really have any flat rides that stand out as unique. They have like a Larson Loop and a pirate ship and the Flyers, like a Shoot the Shoot. I don't know. There's not a whole lot like special there.
They used to have a rotor like flat ride sort of attraction, I believe, but they got rid of it this year, I think. So, and those are pretty rare, I
It's
believe.
like a Gunslinger.
Something like that.
Yeah, that one that was never open when I was there, and I didn't see it in action. So, yeah,
Yeah, it's gone.
it might be that actually.
Thoughts on Jurassic World Adventure at Beijing? I have not looked at a POV of it. I'm questioning if I should or not because, I mean, it's at Universal Beijing. I don't know when I'm gonna get out to it, but I mean, it probably is insanely good. But I haven't seen a POV. Have either of you guys seen it or no?
I have not seen a POV of it.
Okay.
Should I though?
I'm questioning because I'm like, I mean, when am I gonna ride this? So, I might. I'll probably bite the bullet on that and do that. Let's see.
I
Any
have
other?
never seen a POV of Rise of the Resistance yet.
Don't.
Well, yeah, don't look at that one
do it.
because like you can actually like. I mean, yes, you're in Hawaii, but even still, like you'll write it at some point. I don't know about that one. That one's so far away.
And I also
so-
never looked at a POV of Flight of Passage. So
I
Yeah,
haven't
same.
either on that one.
Ooh.
One day
Yeah,
I'll get there.
watch it. No one here is writing it anytime soon. Oh, I'm not putting it on the screen because I have no idea who recorded it or if it's official. I'm not bothering with that, but
you make a good point there. I'm probably not going to write
I'm
it.
not gonna
anytime
do
soon.
that. But yeah, I'll probably watch it. Does the setting of a ride make a huge difference to you guys? It can definitely add a lot, I feel like.
Not a huge difference, but it matters. Yeah, I take that into account. If a ride has a good terrain setting, it helps its ranking.
Yeah, and then you have like, and then it also can hurt them like Scream. I mean, like, really?
Yeah. It could help it way more than it hurts it. Boulder Dash is a good example. Of
Yeah.
a ride where the setting is everything.
I'd say I would probably agree with that. I'd say it wouldn't like no setting wouldn't like destroy a ride, but it would help it if a good setting exists.
Yeah. Because I mean, like some of those early Schwarzkopf loopers, like Super Duper Looper and Revolution, they're very good because of the like going
Yeah.
around the terrain and stuff. If
Treat.
they didn't have that, then like I mean, I feel like they're significantly less interesting rides. So yeah, I think let's see, it's 2:46. I probably will wrap it up around here. So. Unless, is there any questions that you guys see that you want to answer that I might have missed? If not, I'll probably wrap it up here.
I think we're good. We're getting close to 3 hours, so I think
Yeah,
we're
and I
good.
want to be under that, so that's why I'm thinking about that already. So, if you have any last things you want to say before I go into the outro, you can. And if not, then I'll just go into the outro.
Right.
3-hour streams are only reserved to Coaster Time Episode 3 with 808 Coaster Life.
I think the On the Hunt one was actually over, so I will say that. I mean, this one technically is 3 hours if you include the intro screen, but not really. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for 1 year of Coaster Time. I'll do some tribute posts on Instagram and community posts tomorrow. But make sure to check out Airtime Thrills and 808 Coaster Life if you haven't already. Links to their stuff is in the description. And do the poll also. Like I said, Coaster Time poll, that's going to be where that's going to help me decide who I'm going to have next for a guest. So with that being said, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time here on Coaster Hour. See you guys.